I remember that session so much now. How fucking batshit insane everything was.
Oh yeah, I recently did. We were missing someone in my other group a couple weeks ago, so I ran it with just 2 people, where they just had a bunch of characters because we were missing our third. And then the funniest bit was explaining to the missing person what she missed with that session. When I was saying like, yeah, so my other friend here, he lost 2 characters who were farmers to a rock slide, and then was it the third farm that made the distance? He says, no, that was consumed by the cursed tomb's fireball trap. I'm like, right. And then you didn't lose anyone till the end. And then the other one goes, right, because I lost my wizard's apprentice. I'm like, right, to the acid vines. And then you had people die on that cursed ziggurat with beastmen cultists where you fought that chaos lord with exploding skulls. And the person who missed, like, what the fuck happened in one session? But we will roll up a character for Michael here to play. So
yes, indeed.
Brawl-wise, we should be giving you 5 level 0s and having you just trail behind the level 1s that we have. But that would be, I mean, it would be funny that you're dying a lot, but everyone else has like special moves.
He's just playing
spells.
the red shirts.
Yeah. It would be funny, but it probably not as much fun as having an actual level 1 character. So, if you go to the section where macros are, Michael, you should see a macro I shared called Make a PC.
Macro, make a PC, indeed.
So if you click that, so what we're going to do is we're going to click it 5 times, and then you can choose a stat line that you like. Also, does everyone have a copy of the PDF of this book? I link it like every time we play, but I'll relink it.
You might want to relink it because I can't find it, so I'm not sure if it's titled something different on my computer right now.
I'm not sure I do. I don't know.
Michael's the only one that has an excuse because he wasn't here for either of these sessions.
Well, I clearly remember downloading it. I never remember deleting it. What is it titled on, like, so I can search for it in my documents?
DCC RPG 8th printing. It'll take a minute. It's an 800-page PDF. All right. So, 1, 2, 3.
Can I be a wizard with 16 intelligence?
Yeah. That's a mighty high one there. You should have a character sheet I already shared with you.
Indeed.
All right. So let me see here. Let's see what your character's level 0 occupation is for that second one. Your occupation is 18. A dock worker.
Did you say it was Old School Essentials Classic Fantasy? Is that the right one?
No, Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Ah, Dungeon Crawl Classics, okay.
Got a dock worker.
All right, so a dock worker starts with a staff and 1 late copy RPG book.
Where do you say you linked the?
It's still loading in
okay.
Skype. It's still, as I said, very large PDF. It takes
fair.
a while every time I do it.
That's fair. I'm looking through all my books to see where it ran off to.
This is your friendly reminder about file organizing.
Oh, mine are atrocious. I don't even want to. I couldn't even link it and like share a screenshot because I'm so ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
I do still need to have it synced to me.
Yeah, it's loading.
Gotcha. Nope, there it is. Could probably take it a minute. Skype is very bad at letting me actually download shit off of it. Yeah, it downloads so much slower than if I were to download it off of like Chrome.
Yeah, I know.
I shall construct my character when I can read. There it is. Open it up. All right, it's open.
Okay, so You record your attributes there. Get comfortable. I'm just looking because there's like a bajillion rollable tables, so I actually have the rollable tables open to help you speed it along.
All right.
So your
15,
starting occupation is dock worker. We've established
15.
your Earth Auger 19. Oof, that's not good for you.
What does that mean?
All right, so Birth Augur. You see how you have the attribute luck? It
Yeah.
says strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, and luck.
Yeah.
Your luck has a modifier like any other attribute, and your Birth Augur determines what that luck modifier is applied to. So you've got 8 luck, so you have a -1 to anything that your luck goes to, and due to your Birth Augur, it says survived a spider bite. You apply your saving throw against poisons. So that means since you have a negative luck modifier, you take a penalty to resist poisons rather
Gotcha.
than a bonus.
Well, he's a wizard. He doesn't poison. That's why I had to stop dock working. Too many spiders.
Oh my god. You also rolled a 5 for your stamina, so you have a
Indeed.
-2. Okay, so we'll roll your wizard levels here in a moment. Your extra items. Ooh, shame you didn't get cleric. Cleric would have been pretty helpful. But everyone had a personality of 10, which could work. Let me see. Your extra item equipment is 13. You have a singular iron spike. All right. I'm just swapping between books here. You noting this down in your character sheet, Michael? Silence.
Sorry, I was muted. But yeah.
All right. All right. So now we'll do your. That's just your level 0 character. So we'll do your level 1 wizard now. Roll 1d4. This is for your hit points, in addition to the ones that you already rolled. All right.
2.
So the minimum you can roll while modified is 1. So you have 3 hit points total.
Yes.
Don't get hit. All right. As a wizard, you have no base attack bonus. You use the normal critical table. You've got a +1 to reflex and will saving throws. I don't need to explain to you what those are. It's literally the same thing as Pathfinder.
Oh, yeah, can I put that in? Oh.
Yep.
1 reflex, 2 will.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
All right, and now let me roll to see what your 4 starting spells are. This is always going to be the fun part, because then you'll also get Mercurial Magic, which should be a
Do I
good
mark
time.
that down anywhere on the sheet? Or
You may want to give him a handout. I know I
I'm-
need one.
I am giving him one now.
I'm looking at
Yep.
this Mercurial Magic table and I'm just laughing at some of the stuff.
There you go. You should have a new handout there, Michael, called Weird Shiz.
Gotcha.
You had a question, Richard?
I was looking at the handout or not handout, the PDF and looking at the table for warrior. It says I should have 1 reflex and 1 fort, right? Because I've seen in my
Yes.
base I don't have that added yet, so I was just
Yeah,
gonna do that.
I was glancing at your sheets earlier. You didn't have that added in.
Okay, just making sure.
So I recently got a what's called the DCC reference booklet. It's literally just every single random table in the huge core rulebook in one 60-page pamphlet. So it speeds this along immensely. After I got the replacement one because Amazon mangled the first one I ordered.
The only other question I had was the meteoric iron axe. Was that anything special, or was that just the weapon we found? That what it was called?
If you look in handouts,
there it is. Yep.
All right. So first things first, Michael, roll me 4d26. Hey, and they're all different numbers. That's very helpful. All right. So your starting spells are Charm Person, Chill Touch, Choking Cloud, and
wait, 4d26. That's weird.
Yeah, it's because it's a table. And oh, that's cool. Hold on one second. Make sure I'm just reading this right. Okay, so you start with the spell Patron Bond, which also gives you the spell Invoke Patron, as you have formed a compact with an eldritch entity, which grants you additional power and knowledge. So we'll figure out the mercurial magic, then we'll deal with that fun stuff.
All right, I got all those words written down.
All right, so in this game, there's a thing called mercurial magic, which is that whenever a wizard learns a new spell, they roll on this big D100 table of extra magical effects, and it's an additional effect that happens whenever you cast the spell, just to add some extra chaos to it. So it'll go by the spell. For example, like if I remember correctly, Loki has the spell Cantrip, but whenever he casts it, his brain is filled with the visions of a dying god, and he needs to do a will saving throw.
Oh, that's for ventriloquism. Cantrip is a terror-inducing spell that inspires terror in animals and creatures with intelligence score of 3 or less.
Right, that's right. So this is the stuff you're looking forward to. So your first spell, which I believe is Charm Person, roll 1d100.
You can throw his voice, but we always know it's him because he gets a very haunted look on his face. Meanwhile, whenever he plays Got Your Nose with the kids, all the farm animals in the 10-mile radius run away.
All right, I believe it's modified by your luck, so that will be 54.
Come on, it's got to be good.
Unfortunately, no change. The spell manifests as standard. You got the boring one. So Charm Person you can use without any extra chaos. Now roll for Chill Touch.
Of course, I'm a very skilled wizard. I would never have any trouble casting any of my spells.
5.
Ooh.
Difficult to cast. Instead of rolling a normal spell check, the wizard rolls a reduced die size, so you would roll a d16 instead of a d20 to cast Chill Touch.
Gotcha.
Next up, Choking Cloud. So that was so 96. The exact opposite. Powerful caster. Instead of rolling a normal spell, you use a d24 instead of a d20 to cast this spell. Because wizards don't have spell slots in this system, you roll a d20 and add your intelligence plus your caster level, which is just your level, to try to beat a DC to cast the spell. But you could do it infinitely. But if you roll a natural one, fun stuff happens. Was that a fart? Or was that someone's chair?
Probably both. Excuse me.
All right. Give me another one for Patron Bond.
26. What does my patron give me? You give me brain worms.
Prismic Distortion. Nearby light is distorted. Okay, then there's more stuff that'll roll to see how light goes Willy Wonky every time you form a patron bond. And one more for invoke patron.
All right. 14.
12. Magical reverb. For the next 1d4 rounds after the spell is cast, a backwash of eldritch energy passes over the wizard. Any spell the wizard checks, any spell checks the wizard makes during that time suffer a -4 penalty.
Gotcha.
All right.
So I was just kind of peeking at that list, and I saw rolling a 1 at great cost. Every time the wizard casts a spell, someone he knows dies.
Yep. I think one of my favorite is where is it? There was one. I mean, there's one where it says every time you cast a spell, you turn into the opposite gender, which is pretty fun. Oh yeah, here we go. 90. This is probably my personal favorite. Weatherman. Casting the spell upsets local weather patterns. Roll 1d7. On a 1, drought. No rain or moisture falls on the land for 1d12 years. 2, bitter winter sweeps over the land for 1d3 years. 3, incessant rain douses the land for 1d20 weeks. 4, a freak lightning storm hammers the area for 1d100 hours. 5, hurricane-like winds scour the earth for 1d4 weeks. 6, a localized eclipse blocks out the sun for 1d20 days. And 7, no stars are seen in the sky for 1d100 years. Because you had to cast Charm Person. All right. So let me flip to a Thingamaglob here because we can just quickly roll for your spells manifestations, which is just how they're described as functioning. It's not actually a mechanical thing. So for Charm Person, roll me 1d6.
Just a second.
Mhm. Your Charm Person manifests as a black cloud that hits the person you charm. Okay?
Just
Yeah. Right in their face.
oh man, I wish it was glittering pixie dust. That would have been better.
That was one of the options, actually.
No, I'm looking at it.
Give me a D4 for your chill touch.
3.
3 again. The wizard emits a strong odor of corruption as you touch someone and do damage.
Hey, who farted?
You're a very charming fellow. All right. Roll me a D8 for choking cloud.
8.
It's a blue cloud. That's what it just says. It just says blue cloud.
Hey, better than a thick, oily fog.
Yeah.
All right. Patron
Let me-
bond.
Yeah. So no. Okay, yeah. So the patron bond, its manifestations come with who your patron is. So let's just say that you pre-roll this. So let's just pick a patron from the list of predetermined ones. I'll read you the options here. Patrons are like the person who you're cutting deal with to get magical knowledge. You don't serve them. It's very quid pro quo.
Yeah.
So, using the default ones from the book, you have Bob Erg Burbliz, the demon of toads and swamps.
Mm-hmm.
That's an option there. Azzy Drakaz, the Demon Prince of Storms and Waste.
Okay, that's kind of closer to Dock Worker,
Mm-hmm.
but also I have ideas
says-
for the Toad.
Cesrakan, the most wicked and powerful wizard the world has ever known, who mastered every spell known in existence and transcended mortality.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like my guy's guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was Dock Worker.
The King of Elfland.
Okay,
The King of Elfland. He's the King of the Elves. What do you want?
gotcha. It is what it says on the tin.
Mm-hmm. The Three Fates.
Boring.
You know what? Why don't I give you the expanded list from the annual book I have? One moment, because that has the expanded list of demon lords and princes of chaos who you can use as patrons. I swear, we'll play the game, guys.
I mean, right now I'm leaning pretty heavily towards Storm Guy. Toad Guy was cool too. Thinking about he was a Dock Worker.
All right. Carnifex, the former goddess of executions and leopards, now turned demon lord.
Gotcha. Doesn't sound like my guy's lady. Good on Carnifex.
Dishail, the chaos lordess of murdering your husband, I think. I guess that's a niche thing. Grief as well.
Good on that one.
Yeah.
Keep murdering
right.
your husband to yourself.
I need to read this guy's full titles because he's definitely one of my favorites from this book. Hecanodra, the Lord of Grotesqueries, Viscount of Corruption, Caliphas of the Unclean, and Duke of Deformities, and the Avatar of Afflictions. He is the Chaos Lord of birth defects, mutations, and the twistings of the flesh.
I think I'm gonna go Storm Guy.
Alright. We hadn't even gotten to the giant eyeball with the chicken legs.
It's just these guys aren't getting any closer to what my guy. I mean, you can tell me if you think there are any ones that are closer. If you know,
Let me look.
if you want to just skim them, because right now I'm thinking Dock Worker. How does a Dock Worker get into magic? Maybe the spirit of the storms comes and persuades him away from a life of manual labor. That's what I'm thinking.
Sheerbook, the Lord of Serpents, the Lizard King.
It could be King Gizzard, the Lizard Wizard.
Yes, because you are only just going to be human.
Yes, but I would be following a lizard deity.
Okay, we can do the Storm Guy. If you want to cut a deal with the Demon of Storms. So, all right, flipping back. Let's see what the benefits you get here. Hold on, sorry. You chose the complicated class, Michael. If you were a thief, we would be done by now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be good chaos. Patron. Yeah, here we go. Patron bond. All right, so roll 1d20 plus 1 plus your intelligence bonus, which I believe the sheet should auto calculate for you because it's a little bit different.
So is this one where there's spell slots, or is it just
no spell slots?
Okay, it's just
cast infinitely.
You just risk every time you cast.
Right, a result of 1 or lower, or a natural 1 results in misfires.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was muted. Say what I'm rolling again. 1d20 plus what?
1d20 plus 1 plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay. plus. What is the modifier and the number the same as? What is a 16? What's the modifier for a 16?
I believe.
Oh, there it is. I see it. It's 2.
Yeah.
I see. I was looking in the wrong place. Plus 1 plus 2. 16.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Pretty standard. The ritual to form a bond with your patron was pretty standard. You were just given a permanent mark on the face to show your alignment with them. Which, given their storms, I imagine it's like probably being like sandblasted or something like that. But
Yeah.
other than
You're
Other
a
than
wizard,
that-
Harry.
just gets shot in the face with a power wash simulator gun.
No, he's just Harry Potter. He just has a lightning bolt on his forehead.
Oh, did you see the latest DLC that they're doing for Power Wash Simulator, Richard?
Isn't it Warhammer?
Yeah, you're a tech priest who's cleaning a ship. I'm like, oh, this is all Ferris.
I love Power Wash Simulator.
What music does Ferris listen to while he's power washing the what do you call it?
The ship.
Battle barge or whatever.
Mm.
They've got a fancier name than the ship.
He just listens to some light bulb EDM.
Just the sound of flickering neon light.
And it just becomes a strobe song.
Trying to remember the other joke names from that one, but one of the joke names for Warhammer ship that stuck with him is Litany of Litany's Litany.
Oh, that's another funny fucking thing about Helldivers. You get to name your ship. It's just this it's like blank of the blank, and then just all these like corny ass fucking list of words you can choose from. The fucking protector of the skies. The distributor of democracy. That was one I saw.
To this day, I think the best spaceship name I've ever heard was from a Halo novel, which was The Two for Flinching. I still love that one. All right. If you have a particular image that you want to use, I can quickly make into a token, Michael. Otherwise, I'll just give you a generic one I have.
I'll throw you one.
All right. In the meantime, the other three that I've been ignoring while I help Michael set up his wizard. Any questions about your guys' characters? Because I know both Tyke and Luthanar are warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So as a warrior, you add your class level to your initiative. You have a higher critical hit range. And you also have a D die instead of a base attack bonus. So at this level, it's a 1d3. So you'll add that to your base attacks when you're attacking. But also, I recently learned also to your damage with weapons.
Yeah, I read
pretty
that
good.
too.
Also, the deeds of mighty valiance or mighty valor, which is you can describe something else that you do, like trying to disarm someone or trip them or something like that. And you always have to describe before your attack, but if you roll a 3 or higher on your deed die, then it happens. And there's no limit on that. So there's lots of room for creativity there, so long as you describe beforehand. Got an image.
I know your titles are based off of what your alignment is, which is neat.
That's right. I forgot. You need to pick your alignment there, Michael. There's only 3 alignments in the game: lawful, chaotic, and neutral. Lawful is often closer to good, and because it's about community and people, and chaotic is often.
Do I need to roll a manifestation for invoke patron?
I think that's. Let me double check. Because I think it's just based on your patron, because the effect of Invoke Patron is different depending on your patron, so it's very thematic.
Yeah.
Let me double check here.
I was making sure because I have the list.
Yeah.
It's the only one that doesn't have a thing.
Whoop, I'm flipping the wrong direction.
When casting a spell as a wizard, is it just the flat dice roll, or do I add intelligence or something to it?
1d20 plus your intelligence modifier plus your caster level, which is your character level. There's no multi-class thing. I don't know why they call it caster level. I don't. Yeah, Invoke Patron doesn't have any manifestations because it depends on it. I just checked the rules here. All right. So, do you want to be chaotic, lawful, or neutral, Michael?
Chaotic, lawful, or neutral? I think I'm gonna lean chaotic.
All right, then you are a cultist. That's your title.
Gotcha.
No gameplay effect. You're just a cultist.
Neutral is astrologist, right?
Yep.
What's the lawful?
Invoker.
Okay.
Oh yeah, out of those three, this guy's definitely a cultist.
Yes, I had a hunch when I saw your picture. I'm like, this guy's gonna be.
I mean, to be fair, Tyke Myson is a wildling, so
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at wild. There's wildling, bandit, and squire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't have any gameplay effect. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an astrologist that was also a herbalist, so I'm just taking care of the herbs and look at the sky.
Have a name for this fella, Michael?
I put it in. His name is Barge Hands. Barnabas is his real name, but everyone just calls him Barge Hands. All the wizards, they say they have to bully him because he's not as well trained. He's got the calluses on his hands from his life of hard work on the docks.
All right. Let me just. I'm just trying to figure out how to introduce this character at the start of this adventure. You're just gonna be on like a random fucking boat because they're on an ocean of darks. I'll read the intro that Past Me wrote because Past Me was better at this. It's that dark moment when you realize that the you that existed months ago was apparently smarter than the you that exists now. And you keep having that happen, so that means that you're just kind of slowly going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the easy one is he's just sent on a mission or something from his patron, and that.
Oh, yes, I guess that is true.
Like, somebody get in my way! You just fall onto our boat.
Someone stupid break my fall.
What?
Yeah, quick comparison of intelligence checks here. Who's got the highest intelligence? Michael's character's got a 16.
I only have a 14.
Only a 14.
Oh god, is 14 the dumb one?
I got a 16.
We're just party of scholars. Clearly.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna shorten that name to Barge Hands.
Yeah.
There we go for the token. Okay.
What is lucky roll again?
Hmm?
The character sheet says lucky roll, and I have 7th Sun spell checks +1. So.
Oh, that is you because you got the 7th Sun Birth Augur, so you add your luck bonus to your spell casting.
Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay.
Never done like the 7th Sun. Should need more than 6. 6 will run your farm good enough. 7 means you killed one.
How do you determine your attack bonus? Because I'm looking at my weapon. Is it just like based off of strength, or
It is your strength, and then you roll a d3 because of you're a warrior that you add to it. So it's your strength. It's a d20 plus your strength plus a d3.
okay? I wasn't sure if there's like okay. It has my melee modifier, and then
Yeah, I would highly recommend just typing out your rolls. These sheets can be a bit finicky, so just use them to record the information. But
Gotcha.
they're working on official support, but these are fan made.
gotcha.
All right. So with that, if there's no further questions, I shall read the little intro I prepared. Is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Bartends is always ready.
All right. Drawn by the plight of your kidnapped kinsfolk, a group of intrepid would-be heroes from the village hidden in the smoke embarked upon a quest to the dread cursed keep that loomed over their hamlet. Much blood was shed in that cyclopean ruin. Lives were lost, curses were bestowed, and treasures were won. It was the surviving few which confronted the risen Chaos Lord upon his ziggurat on the starless sea, and banished the fiend back from the hell from which it crawled. The 5 remaining heroes now find themselves, bloodied but unbeaten, on the deck of a magical longship hurtling through the darkness of the subterranean ocean. It would seem that the final curse of the Chaos Lord's tomb lay upon them. The curse is struck, and ethereal winds unseen carry them to parts unknown. What glorious adventures and horrifying monsters yet await the band of heroes. So you have all been on this longship, which has been moving at a constant pace through the darkness for about 3 days. For some of you, it's been harder than others. The lack of food has certainly been an issue. Probably in this time of healing wounds, Tyke and Luthanar have taken time to brush up on their weapon skills, hence why they have warrior levels now. Cornelia, who's not so physically inclined, you probably spent most of your time just kind of lying, looking at the strange glowing green ruins in the wood of this long ship. And after hours to days of staring at them, you think they start to make a strange amount of sense to you. But when that happens, you think that you start learning the runes of magic. The magic learns you, as you have the unsettling sensation of the knowledge of the spells themselves crawling from the letters through your eyes to take root within your mind. Sense your sudden abilities of wizardry that you did not possess as a mere herbalist. Still, this tenure upon these darkened waters eventually comes to a close as the longship embeds itself upon a white sandy beach of a subterranean beachhead. It is not difficult to find a narrow passage that you have to walk through single file, crawling up through a natural cavern, desperate to find sunlight. So at this point, you are gratified to eventually emerge out onto the surface. You are greeted by cold air and gray skies, surrounded by damp pine trees and mountains that are unfamiliar to most of you. Luthanar, as the elder member of your party, you've spent some time traveling the world as a mercenary and a caravan guard. You recognize the peaks that you are emerging from as the Trolltooth Mountains, a mountain range far, far to the north of the village that you called home. You are in the land of the Norsemen, far removed. And also, for the sake of clarity, we're just going to say that Samantha and Aiton have just kind of like background, like what we used to do when we were down someone.
Mhm.
So you'll have to deal without Cope's crazy flaming flail and armor that nullifies critical hits.
Right.
But hey, you can have one of his rubies worth 250 gold pieces.
There we go.
That might be helpful.
Yeah,
What do
a long way from home.
I missed that. There's a lot of noise all at once.
So we're a long way from home.
Yeah, I'm not. There's a lot ahead of us, isn't there?
Yeah, well, could be very short if we don't find people soon.
Hmm.
Yeah, looking around, is there any signs of civilization?
You look around and you do notice several thin smoke trails in the distance to the south. Definitely like what you would see coming out of chimneys or campfires.
Seems as good a destination as any.
I think the locals are friendly.
Is that Tyke's voice, Richard?
You think locals are friendly?
There it is.
Hate to get attacked after we just got out of the cave.
Do we even know anything about this place?
Heard it has some good snurb.
It's just the fake Mike Tyson from The Simpsons.
Well, when Richard pulled this guy out of the hole and he rolled him, he said, "I named him Tyke Mikeson. He's White Mike Tyson." That's literally what he described him as.
And I can't do the voice, so that's the best I can get.
Well, if you're the opposite of Mike Tyson, wouldn't it be a deeper voice?
I didn't say the opposite. I just said the white version of him.
Yeah.
He has
He's
a
jacked
very
as shit.
He has a very deep, very articulate, very good with his S's. And he hates birds. He fucking hates doves and little pigeons.
They keep shitting on me, I swear.
Good heavens.
Good
What
heavens.
will the neighbors think?
By Jove!
I would never lay a hand on a lady.
Oh god.
No, I'm going proper Tyke Myson. I like that one better.
As you walk through the forest a little bit, you begin hearing murmurs of conversation and the sounds of shuffling feet and not snarling, the sound of a horse. I don't know, however they breathe, whatever the word, I'm spacing on it. You come across a rather large procession of people moving their way up the road. You see 8 riders wearing mail, carrying sheathed longswords upon horses. Following behind them, bound by ropes, is a young woman, maybe 18 or 19, with raven black hair. And behind them is a crowd of what looks like commoners, probably around 35 people. They quietly murmur amongst themselves, otherwise looking downcast. Seeing you, the riders signal, and with a snap of the reins, they peel off from the main group, and they come towards you 3, keeping a fairly respectable distance. The lead one, wearing the most intricate helm, calls out to you. "Oh, travelers, what business have you in these lands?"
Cheerio, my friend. We've recently found our way out through a cave underground, and we do not quite know where we are. We'd be appreciated ever so much if you might be able to direct us towards civilization.
"I am Jarl Ingvar. These are my lands of the hamlet of Harald. If you're seeking sustenance, the village is down the road that way, towards the south. So I would advise you to be quick about your business and leave. The town has been about its curse. We cannot make promises of safety for travelers."
What sort of curse?
someone and from the crowd, you hear goes, "The Hound!" And goes, "Just you've been under siege of late. It is under control. You're dealing with it in the ways of our people now." Saying dealing with it in the ways of his people, your eyes cannot help but drift towards the maiden who is bound. Now be on your way.
Very well then. Hate to upset local customs. You know, I just look at everybody like, this way. Just start.
Mhm.
Turn in one direction, like, wait. Turn the other direction. This is south, correct? It's been a minute.
Yes, it is south.
Yeah. And then I just like start walking that direction with a pip in my step.
You'll be kind of very uncomfortable with the situation, suddenly realizing what the maiden is likely for, but will reluctantly follow Tyke.
After a good 40 minutes of walking, you come to a walled hamlet, several huts within the wood walls with sealed gates. There is an elevated longhouse up upon a hill, very Whiterun, I will say. I'll just pop you over to the map that was provided here. As I said, very Whiterun.
Mhm.
Let me scroll to the section here. Just remembering characters' names. As you approach the gates, a face leans over the side. Looks a bit young on the young side to be a guard. Just a few whiskers poking out from his otherwise smooth chin, wearing a helmet that looks just a little too big with him. Oh there! More travelers then. Don't believe
I've been
Thorpe's
seeing
never
many
been
lately.
this popular.
So you've been seeing a lot of through traffic as of late?
Just the one.
How long ago did they arrive?
Michael, roll me 1d4.
Okay. I just want to say this is way too many houses to be Whiterun.
Yeah, it's actually functional.
You got to get rid of at least half of these before you even approach Whiterun level.
Yeah. That is something that continuously bugs me about the modern like Bethesda games is like these teeny tiny towns and they're like the big city. I'm like,
Yeah.
Don't
okay,
pick
like,
on Whiterun. It's trying its best.
it is. It's
The trade capital of Skyrim, and you can walk across the whole thing in about
2 minutes.
not even
Do you get to Cloud District very often? Of course you don't. I'm like, it's up those stairs, motherfucker.
I could throw you that far.
I go farther to buy lunch in the afternoon.
There's not a gate, bitch. I think there's a homeless guy that walks up there.
But yes, this fellow says, I'd say about 3 days ago. You have coin?
We do.
Turns, seems to consult with someone outside. All right. They'll open up for you. I would advise you to be quick about your business, though. The hound's on the prowl.
Are they
If you're
within the city?
needing lodging, God rest your soul, you can get a decent room at the sign of the Wolf Spear, just off the square. If you have less coin than you're saying that you are, then you can try your hand at the Three Rats.
Is there a place
That's
we
just
might
the-
procure provisions?
It's just the nickname they gave to the local flasher. The wolf is on the prowl.
Listen, there's double digits number of people in this town. Like, we can't bring ourselves to really blame the guy. Could you imagine just a guy jumps out, flashes you, and you're like, "Hey, Frank." You're like, "Hey, Dave."
You know,
He
that's
just
just
sometimes.
Dave. He gets something out of it. I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt no one. Except for all the people he shows his cock and ball.
I will never stop finding that funny. In fiction,
Ugh.
just the idea of people being really familiar with each other in odd scenarios, like
Right.
superhero parodies where the Lois Lane type keeps getting kidnapped, and then she just becomes on first name basis with all the hench people.
Oh yes, Megamind.
Yeah, the Megamind thing. It's great. So yes, you are into the village of Harant. There's an aura about this place as the people shuffle around their basic business. There's a melancholy here, a sad resignation to their fate. As you walk past the main houses into the square, you do see a well off in the corner. Ahead of you, just below the ramp up to the great longhouse, presumably belonging to the Jarl, you see, in sharp contrast to the wood buildings, a cobblestone steeple here bearing the iconography of the goddess Justinica, goddess of justice.
What the fuck?
Hey, I didn't name it, pal.
This is the god.
That name is rather on point.
Yeah.
Could be worse. We could call our god God.
This is our god Zor. He's the god of war, and our god. Jeez, he's the god of peace.
Yeah, Richard, I dare you to go to a Bible study and start saying Yahweh.
Right?
See how that goes.
They probably look at me like, "Who the fuck are you?" And what the fuck is Yahweh?
Yeah.
And then the one across the room would go, "It's Jehovah," and then you would start a theological argument on the true name of God.
Don't even get us started with adding the Mormons to the mix.
But
It's important to know this
Elohim?
in case you need to cross to get the Holy Grail.
Oh, when the next guy brings out the Elohim, and you're like, "Why are you even here?"
But excuse me, L. Ron Hubbard.
because the thing that we like about religion is the certainty.
Exactly.
Anyway,
the idea that God has an actual name is kind of funny to me.
But yes, behind the chapel there, you see funeral pyres there, people being laid to rest, some of them beginning to burn. To your right, you see a large reinforced wood building with iron over the bars. There is a sign hanging in front of it that just has the picture of a wolf with a spear in its jaws. And in the exact center of the town square, on a wooden post, is a box with a slot in the top, like you would drop folded pieces of paper into. Tell me, Michael, your character, Barge Hands,
Indeed.
you're as a request from your patron, the Demon Lord of Storms, he has sent you to this town of Harant, telling you to look for a magical artifact of some demonic power known as the Black Orb, said to have been possessed by an ancient savage king that once roamed these lands. What have you been doing in town over the last 3 days? And where do we find you as these other 3 travelers?
You guys probably. Is it a secret? Like, what was I told about this black orb?
Literally that it. Patrons are frustratingly cryptic like that.
You finally
Cool.
find
Then
it. It's an 8-ball.
You need an orb
you
to ponder.
probably soon after entering have a slightly damp homeless man in a floppy hat come up to you and say, "Have you heard of the Black Orb?
Perfect.
I'm looking for a Black Orb." And he's just been doing that every day you guys haven't been here. To everyone who comes through the city square. In fact, you have that moment where you see him, when you see him do it to the guys who came in right before you, where you're like, "Oh God, he's gonna do it to us." Oh fuck.
Is that the same thing as the wolf that's everybody's on edge about?
No, I think that's the guy who's confusingly sticking his dick into the box with the hole in it.
You have been in here long enough, Barge Hands, to know that box is every 3 days, everyone in village writes their name down on a piece of paper and it's stuck in the box, and they will draw a name from it, and that's the person who they sacrifice to the hound.
Drawing it out. Quite literally.
So what? Like a year until everybody is gone?
Let us just get provisions and be on our way. I do not wish to be put in the name slot.
You don't have any curiosity what this hound thing is?
Not at all. I value my skin.
I really don't care about the hound. I want to find a Black Orb.
I get the feeling one and a lot of us will get in that box before the end of this. Just so that they can spare one of their own.
That is probably why
So
they
perhaps
said not linger long.
Well, until we leave, we are all known as Jeff.
Although,
I will be Jeffrey. You shall be Jefferson. You shall just be known as Jeff. Your name is Hef.
God damn it, I hate when I talk to them and they just act like I'm not here.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
just trying to ignore him.
I imagine most of us, our stomachs are probably doing the talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
3
Let's
days
just go
without
to the
food.
tavern and figure out where we're going from here, because, yeah. Any idea how to
That's
get
a
home.
good idea.
Like, fuck. The homeless man falls in sync with you.
See?
I look over at him. I look back at the rest. I think we've got a pet.
It's like a cat. He's adopted us now that you've acknowledged him.
Yeah.
My mistake. I am sorry.
He's your
Look.
problem now.
The way I see it, I've asked everyone about this Black Orb, but nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Either this is a prank, or it's got something to do with the wolf guy.
Well, do you know what you're talking about? What is the black?
No! That's what's making me angry.
Who
You know, I had a cousin who
told
had a
you-
black orb before. He went to the doctor. He had to get it removed.
why this fixation of a black orb if you don't even know a black orb?
That's confidential.
Some of my best friends are black orbs. What are you talking about?
It's on a need-to-know basis.
Yes, we make our way into the Wolf Tavern.
Okay, you
Yeah.
pried it out of me.
As we're
I made
walking
a deal with the storm god, this demon of storm, and he gave me the power to do these magical farts. I've got a green one and a black one so far, but I got to do his little tasks. Trust me,
Is that what
it's
that
a lot.
smell is?
It's a lot easier than working on the dogs. I'll tell you what.
He's just sounding more and more like the rambling homeless man.
Also, I just flipped to the section about the patron, and I just quickly read through that real quick, and I just want to read this because Michael would know it. Azai Decan, the demon prince of storms and the waste, Azai Decan is anything but subtle. He is the blasting sandstorm, the deadly asp, the desiccated corpse, and the scorching sun. He appears as an infernal Hydra, and expects his followers to bring ruin wherever they go. Eventually, the world shall be a desert over which he will rule. His ceremony must be conducted in a desert at high noon, where the caster has embedded no liquid for 1 day and 1 night. He demands much of his followers,
I thought he
causing
was
them.
the god of storms.
He
I think he
is
said wind.
Okay.
even for storms and wastes.
Okay.
I mean, do you wanna repcon to the Toad one?
No, we're already too far in. I think this guy just got into a deal he didn't fully understand.
That's entirely possible. Yeah.
He's a god of storms. I'm a dock worker. Why else would he want to talk to me? He's clearly it's ocean storms.
So wait, did your character accidentally sign up for what was it, Team Magma, that Pokemon team that wants to destroy all the water?
He thinks he's on Team Aqua, but actually he's secretly on Team Magma. Oh god.
As you guys are going towards the sign of the Wolf Spear, you hear in the distance, kind of like as if someone was over here in the houses and stuff. You hear a voice calling out, "Thy house brought this curse upon themselves. You must turn away from your wickedness. Return to the worship of the goodly goddess Justinica and repent for thine sins. Piety is the only way to turn away the hound's teeth."
I hate this guy. Just bothering everyone
Oh, dear.
in public. For
Let
no
us hurry
reason.
in. He's going to start handing out pamphlets.
I mean, I'm just trying to get to the tavern, and he's bothering us for no reason. It really gets on my nerves, these guys.
Yes, we finally walk in through the tavern door.
Yeah, you enter the sign of the Wolf Spear. If you're expecting a jovial tavern inn experience, you are not finding it here.
Not really getting the vibe from the town in general, so.
There are people here, but they seem to mostly be silently nursing drinks. Some seem to shoot dice, but don't really seem to be paying attention to the results. Lots of eyes glance at you as you come in. Everyone's definitely taking note of the strangers who have entered, but you don't detect like a hostility to foreigners, more of a consigned recognition as they return to their activities.
So not so much like suspicion or anything.
No.
More like we're fucked. Might as well just drink our way away.
Mm-hmm.
We would look for a table, or I'm just gonna call Cornelia Nelly. Nelly's going to look for a table away from, people, just so that they could talk with a little bit of privacy.
Yeah, I rolled for it. There's 22 people in here, not including the tavern owner, who is over by the bar. He is a absolute mountain of a man. But everyone else looks depressed. This guy is deep in grief. He is still red at the eyes. He's sitting on a stool behind the tavern, 1,000-yard stare, just behind his big black beard.
Does he look at all like the? Is there any sort of resemblance between him and the maiden that was walking up, being led away?
You could definitely say there was a family resemblance.
Is there anyone else around here I can ask for some food? I start looking around. Oh, okay.
Nelly will.
They stopped giving me food a couple days ago. You're going to be out of luck over there.
Dear Lord, I hope not. Just make my way over to the bar and try to get food for the lot of us.
Mm-hmm. It takes you a couple tries to get the innkeeper's attention. He's, in a moment, sir. It's 3 coppers for a plate.
I would just put down enough coppers for the four of us.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had to join us, so.
Yep.
Right before he puts down his coppers, I would grab, what's your character's name? Tyke?
Yeah.
I would grab your hand and I would say, "What's on the plate?"
I imagine food.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
Bread, dried meat, black beans.
Sounds delicious. Anyway, I am going to go away from this awkwardness and go sit at the table. Hop, 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 hop. Do a spirited walk back to the table to get out of the awkwardness of talking to the guy who's obviously grieving.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, something tells me he is very upset.
I walk back over and I go, "That guy's an asshole."
I think he's in the process of losing his daughter.
Ooh.
Most likely. Is there any family resemblance between the lady we saw and this dude?
Yeah, definitely a sizable age gap, so daughter is a good bet.
Well, I lost 2 of my fingers falling from a boat's rigging, so I didn't cry about it that much.
Why do you still have 11?
No, I just got
I think that was a part of the fine print in our deal. I'm not sure. I didn't read that carefully. Never was a reader.
16 intelligence.
Hey,
He can read doesn't mean he enjoys it.
exactly.
It is unfortunate that his daughter probably was taken away, though I don't know what we could do about it. We just got out of a hole, and I, for one, am a shell of myself until I get something to eat.
That's gonna be taken care of soon, but we gotta figure out. I'm curious what this hound is. You could turn to the homeless guy. Were you able to garner information of what this hound thing is that everybody's terrified about and are sacrificing their people towards?
Oh, you asking Bog Hands?
Yeah. Barge
Would you have
hands.
inquired any while you were here, Barge Hands?
Yeah, probably. It seems to be the talk of the town.
Yeah. So essentially what it is about a month ago, a demonic hound has begun attacking the village. It has the ability to bypass all walls and physical defenses. When it first attacked, it would kill maybe a half a dozen to a dozen people in one go. The town has since found that the only way to belay it is that every 3 days they must take someone and tie them to the standing stones a short walk outside of town, and then at sunfall the hound will kill them and they'll not bother the town for 3 days. Anyone who remains in town for more than one sunrise has their name added to the box. Other than that, roll me 2d24 to see what rumors you've picked up from talking to people.
Each of us, or just
him? Just
Okay,
him.
yeah,
'Cause he's
makes
been here
sense.
longer.
22 and 11.
22 and 11.
How appropriate. Or matching? I don't know.
1 1 2 2 3 3.
1 1 2 2 3 3.
All right, so just rumors around the town. According to people, the reason why they've been hastening so many funeral bears up at the top, pyres, it's not bears, pyres, is because they say unless cremated, corpses of the hound's victims rise as the undead on the next full moon. You have, unrelated, on your search for the orb, whether or not you choose to share this with the party or not, heard that the brothers Kenji, Sten, and Ilan have discovered a king's ransom in the hills to the north of Herat. And that's why they haven't been seen in town recently.
Sounds suspicious.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So I guess first question, since this is really the first time we've had a chance to, go somewhere since the whole ordeal at the keep. What are we doing?
Figured we'd go
Looking
back to
for
the
a-
village hidden in the smoke, but
We're,
I don't know.
We're looking for a black orb.
He's looking
Okay.
for a black orb.
Journey
Black
away.
Orb, you want to go home. Do we have any idea where we're at? Like, in relative, like, we've
We're in the
got the
village
town
of
now,
Herat. Keep
Right.
up.
right, but where's
Several
that?
months north of our home.
Hmm.
That's just my guess out of character. I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, months is a good call. I mean, you guys don't have a knowledge of geography, so you don't even have like a. Most people are born and raised and die all within the one village, so
Hmm.
you could be on Hawaii and not know it. Your knowledge of the world is very dim.
Yeah. Like, I don't even have the first idea of how to get home at this point, to be honest. And she would check her hip sack, running a bit low on herbs.
I just look at my bag.
Oh God,
This is
you're
a
not
dark-
from
this is a dark
Cloud
time.
Village, are you?
Oh, you know where that's at?
We thought it was hidden.
I don't know the exact location, but I know you got a reputation.
Best herb around. Best herb around. 6 years running right now.
Hmm.
Tell you what.
Where I come from, you don't got the schedule to be doing
Although,
all those
that-
spices.
That
Oh,
might
sorry.
change here this upcoming season, considering we lost like all of the town's herbalists.
I don't know why everyone thought
We're all
that they
that's
were
left.
adventurers.
We're all that's left.
What the fuck happened that killed all the herbalists?
We went into a cave.
Well,
It was a
we
bad
went to
idea.
A fortress to bring
Instead of
people
sending
back.
like a guard or a bounty hunter or
Where all that there was to save our friends, and
you sent
Eyes
a bunch of
eyes drift towards
herbalists.
Kenneth's character, who is the only mercenary in town, and he's like a 70-year-old man.
There's a reason I retired there.
Coupled with, I think I'm the only one that they actually was able to save from that too.
Well,
So,
they saved a
numbers
bunch of
don't
people.
add up
They
very
just
well.
got killed by other things. I mean, you guys fought and killed a Chaos Lord. A single demonic hound's got to be a walk in the park.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, I am curious.
If there's
food
one
has
thing I
not
know about
arrived, by the
demons,
What was that?
I said your food has not arrived. By the way, that guy
Right.
has not moved.
if there's one thing I know about demons, it's that they're weak and easy to kill.
Then let's. If we could solve that problem, it would garner us a lot of favor that might potentially be a quicker way home.
Yeah.
The question
I
is,
guess.
how do we find a hound before they apparently kill this woman? I guess they're leading her to that, isn't they?
Yeah, as
That's according to what March Hands
um,
knows.
Yep.
The standing stones. It'll tear her to pieces at sundown.
And they'll just take anyone who wants to be sacrificed.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Barge Hand stands up. He says, "Tell that little lady it's her lucky day. I'm gonna get eaten by a hound. I volunteer." There better be, and
Right.
then I'll
Record
look at everyone else.
scratch.
And go, there better be a black orb somewhere in this situation.
You hear the chair going clattering to the ground as a large innkeeper immediately shoots up. He goes, Truly, you do that for my daughter?
Absolutely.
Listen, if you give us something to eat, we'll be on our way and we'll take him directly to where the wolf is, and we will save your daughter.
Right, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, don't make me die on an empty stomach. Jesus.
Maybe
I
no
mean,
beans.
what's
We need to
my
eat and walk.
type? Storm. Jesus. Something like that.
Yeah, he gets you your food immediately.
I just started
That's
devouring.
true.
It's like, well, we should be walking then, because like I imagine it's not like sunset right now, but it's probably getting
No,
on in the time.
it's like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
It's
So
we
gonna
don't
you're
know
all-
be
exactly where we're going, so we might not need to beat feet.
You're all like big time adventurers, right? I don't got anything to actually worry about.
We all just share a look.
Nelly will
yeah.
look,
It
can I
is-
get a beer for the road?
of course. It is also worth pointing out that most of you don't even own armor. So if you would like to try to find people to buy stuff from in
Yeah.
town, it's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I selected this module, because there's an actual town you can buy shit from.
Can wizards wear
A lot of the
armor?
other modules are fun. That's the fun part. They can wear any armor they want. However, the armor check penalty applies to your spell casting rolls, and if you get a 1 or lower after modifiers, your spell misfires, possibly mutating you, or also just doing an effect that you don't want. Like
Cool,
for example,
no
magic
armor.
missiles. One of my personal favorites for magic missile is that the missiles accidentally come out of your feet and you sink through a 7-foot hole exactly as big as your body straight down to the ground.
Yeah,
That's a great misfire. But yeah, he the man who soon learned his name is Brogan Harvinson. He brings you your beer and he goes, please bring my daughter Morgana home. I know that her name was pulled, and then that's fair, but looking around the tavern, the inn, there's like, it's an interesting mix of concerned but also deeply sympathetic looks from a lot of people. If that makes sense, you can kind of.
Well, yeah, they were doing it by like drawing the name, so they didn't have to feel as guilty. But I imagine there's still guilt there.
Yeah. It's not like this isn't a burn the witch situation. Like, it's not her fault. So her name was drawn this morning. Mhm.
So yeah, if we can find somewhere to buy stuff, probably should be a good idea.
So Herat is kind of very much cottage industry, so you have to go to the personal homes of each of the tradespeople, but we're not going to roleplay that. So I'm just going to give you the page number of the equipment section. I don't know the PDF, but it's 71.
Yeah, 73 on the PDF.
Yeah, you can find basically anything you want except for something really high end like full plate or half plate, but those are crazy expensive.
Yeah, I already have a chainmail, so I think my armor's going to be as good as I can afford right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, compared to what we got, everything's crazy expensive.
We do have a 200 gold gem.
A 250 gold rupee, yeah.
I also have some cash on me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get gold from on the way out?
I think the guys who got the most gold was Tinkle Von Bluff, and he was consumed by the ziggurats exploding.
Like he was the one yelling at the edge of the water, being like, "Come back and save me, you bastards!" And then he blew up with his money.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like 2 gold and some silver and copper. But
I mean, I'm good with dividing up this Ruvian to just give us liquid cash at this point.
I would like to buy some kind of bow of some sort.
Yeah, sure. Let me flip to the second
Like
here.
I looked at it. It's like 40 gold for the bow, and I think 20 arrows would be 5. So I need 45, and I don't have anywhere near that. So if we have any money after everyone spends stuff, I'll get that, just in case to have. But I do have a flail. If I could sell that.
Yeah.
So what does Invoke Patron actually do? Because I'm looking on here and it says
so
judge.
There's a patron section in the back that your spell results will here, I'll give you the page number of the PDF. Okay. Thematically, you're just like asking your patron to step in and do something for me, and then depending on what you roll,
Indeed.
you'll get what you get.
Which I might think I'll have to do soon.
Yeah, Page 330 is the start of your patron section. In the physical version, you might need to scroll a little bit more because PDFs are offset.
This iron axe that I have, is it a two-handed weapon or a one-handed?
It's a
one-handed
two-handed
battle
weapon.
axe.
Oh, it's a one-hand battle axe. My
This
apologies,
enormous one-handed battle axe requires 16 strength score. Okay, so I can get a shield instead. That actually might be better.
Yep.
If I sell the flail, I can afford the shield, and I won't bother with the
Okay, I see.
the bow for now.
So you're not using the big axe that we
No,
got?
I do.
No,
It's a
okay.
one-handed axe.
I gotcha. Sweet.
It just
okay.
does a lot of damage.
Is there a difference? Like, are there any more mechanics between like crossbow and like short bow beyond just the range? Because it looks like the damage is the same. It's only the cost that's different.
Certain classes are proficient in it, so let me check wizard proficiency.
Okay.
Because by default, you're proficient with the last weapon you used as a level 0 character, and then whatever it says in class. There is no such thing as armor proficiency because they reasons that you don't need to have specialized training to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Wizards are trained in the use of daggers, longbows, long swords, short bows, short swords, and a staff.
Okay.
So no crossbow at all.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
I always love when a system lets the wizard use a longsword because it's
a
nice little reference to Lord of the Rings that I just like that's in there because Gandalf had a fucking sword.
Yeah, I definitely think that's 100% why it's in there, which I do agree. It's very fun.
So yeah, I sold the flail that I had, and used the rest of my gold to afford the shield. So,
all right,
I have an AC of 16 now.
I will buy padded armor and
keep in mind the armor check penalty.
Yeah, padded armor doesn't have a check penalty.
Oop, just making sure.
Yep.
And the fumble die increase.
Yeah, that I know that's a thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like having one more AC is definitely appreciated. I think I'll also go with the longsword. And armor is just the base 10 plus your agility plus armor?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I do enjoy how armor works in this, in that there's a fumble die that you roll on the fumble table when you get a natural 1 with an attack, so the heavier armor you wear, the bigger the oopsie poopsies than if you were just unarmored. It's a nice way to incentivize medium armor, not just beeline for full plate.
Yeah.
I imagine since I don't have any gold to spend while they're all doing this, I'm going and sending that guy's daughter back, and then I'll just be waiting for them, like, kicking my feet on the altar.
Is there a place to buy like holy water or anything here? Is that a thing?
You want to go talk to the guy telling everyone to repent?
I mean, he might give us some if we tell him we're going to go kill the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, I'd give it a shot.
Okay. Let me scroll to the section here. Bah, bah, bah. So you see, marching through the streets this time of day, an older man, balded head, wearing the burlap robes of a monk. He is screaming about penance and how the village has brought this upon themselves with their own wicked ways. He's being trailed by two younger priests who their burlap robes have been removed down to their waist. They are currently using like leather flail whips and whipping their own backs as they follow him on the march.
Okay. All right.
I've seen Castlevania, guys. Don't mess with these guys, okay?
Right now, she's just trying
Exaggerating. I've seen
to.
the first season.
She's trying to build up the nerve a bit and just like try to figure out what the fuck she's gonna say.
Yeah.
And okay, and then she's just gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm going with it, going for it," and approaches and says, "I seek penance in the form of taking on the beast proper. Do you have any tools that might aid me in the attempt?"
Indeed I do, stranger. The tool is prayer. Go before to thy chapel. Kneel and pray for deliverance from the noble Justinica. Merciful and wise.
Oh,
Faith
of course.
is the only weapon that was needed.
Trying to think of anything I could do to spin it without just completely insulting the situation. Okay. Can you not
Careful
offer me
reminder
a
for a
blessing
home
as well?
that Loki is a wizard who can destroy stuff with his mind.
Yeah. But still. So the divine's within me and offers no direct aid, yes?
No, the divine is not upon you. None of us are worthy of the justices of Justinica. That's why we must pray.
And by praying, the hound will go away?
Indeed. Only faith can deliver us from this darkness.
Then have faith in me. I can do this. And then fuck it, just walk off.
I imagine Barge Hands is just like somewhere nearby. Didn't work.
Hey, Gamba, I have a question.
Yeah.
It's just standard for gold and silver conversions and all that. Like 10 silver equals 1 gold.
Yeah, standard. The only difference is since we're doing it the old school way, we don't really round up. I just assume you're probably getting mostly silver and coppers.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But the conversions are the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it. She'll take a few steps away, turn around, and say, "Do you have any blessed water that I could perhaps use as a keepsake?"
All right, this is a good time to introduce this mechanic. Give me a luck check. That is where you roll a single d20 and you're trying to get equal to or under your current luck score.
Do I add a plus bonus to it, or
Nope,
just a flat
nope.
d20?
It's this is just a flat luck. How lucky are you?
That works. My luck is 11. No, my luck is 13.
That's what, a +1?
Yeah.
My luck is terrible. It's a 6.
You truly wish to enlighten yourself, stranger, of the ways of Justinica, don't you?
It seems like she's the only one that could stop this threat.
Indeed. I must finish my sermon here in the streets. But come to the chapel after sundown.
I cannot. I cannot let a maiden just go to her fate. I must intervene. Please.
Then you would doom more lives by interrupting it.
Never been called a maiden before.
Is it just to sacrifice a dozen lives where one would go fairly to the whims of fate?
It is not just to let the people be sacrificed when you could take action. Why wait when it caused time for good to intervene? To get revenge or to get justice for the lives that have already been claimed so violently.
We are not doing nothing, girl. We are calling up, trying to save these souls from their wickedness.
As am I, just through more direct means.
The Hound is a punishment from Justinica. If we repent, if we grow stronger in our faith, the Hound will disappear upon its own.
Is it a punishment or is it a test?
Both.
Then I feel like a true divine being of justice would insist that we take justice into our own hands.
Are you preaching scripture to me, stranger?
No, I'd never claim to know more than you. It's just the feeling I get from something I can't put my finger on, just a feeling.
Seek prayer upon this feeling. Practice the wisdom of your elders. He's going to go back to his walking sermon.
Oh. As a fallback, she mumbles to herself as she's walking away. Like, at least potentially get blessed water if things go sideways tonight. All right.
But yeah, I'm at the gate with the homeless guy. I just decked out all my stuff. I have a backpack on with a water skin. I have a 10-foot pole, just in case we get lost in the cave again. I spent all my gold.
It keeps happening.
I'll probably make a quick trip to get some rations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought some rations. I bought the backpack and all that stuff because I'm like, why not?
Yeah, I'll do the same.
I'm down to 5 silver pieces.
I'm good to go.
Okay. Once all your guys' little shopping is done there, kitting yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
There's less chance to be kidnapped by a boat on this trip. Boats.
I mean, you're not storming a castle this time.
We're storming a wolf instead.
Yeah, so didn't think there was a very high chance of being kidnapped by a boat last time either.
All right, so you guys are heading out to the Standing Stones.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a nickel for every time I was almost kidnapped on a boat, I would have 2 nickels, but it's still weird that it happened twice.
Wait, you've been kidnapped by a boat twice?
Isn't that what I just heard? You guys are talking about getting kidnapped on a boat?
Yeah. Oh man, and that'll always remind me of Richard Michael. Do you remember Gork's original backstory for why he was on that ship to a new world in the very first game?
Didn't he sneak on or something?
He just wandered on, right?
I said got lost, walked onto a boat.
Realized he hates water halfway through the trip.
All right, let's quickly check on the here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so it takes you a good hour and a half It's assumed during the time you're shopping that the procession taking her to the Standing Stones came back with the Jarl and all of his men. But you have reached the altar stones as the sun is beginning to set. The Standing Stones rest atop a low, craggy bluff. At the center of the stones is a squat stone block. A trio of ravens stands atop the mossy stone, pecking at trails of gore. 4 holes are bound to the stone with thick coils of rope looped through the stone to create crude shackles, to which the black-haired girl that you saw this morning is bound. What do you do?
Wait, so we're at the circle stone now, and it's all
Yep.
around us?
Yeah.
I missed that last part, so.
Okay, so you arrived at the circle stones. I gave a description of it. It's
Yeah.
very Stonehenge-y with an altar, and the girl is tied to the central altar.
Okay, I missed that last part that she was tied to the central one.
Mhm.
I guess we begin to start approaching. At least I do.
Yeah, I'd be behind.
Yep.
You've had a volunteer in your stead.
What are you doing? No, get out of here, otherwise the hound will get you too.
I mean, that was kind of the idea.
I've never seen someone who didn't want to have their life saved.
Of course I don't want to die, but can I let other people die in my stead? I don't feel right about that. She's very clearly scared and confused right now.
It's okay. I kind of pat the new wizard on the back. He's homeless anyway.
Dark.
Technically, I have a house.
See, he's lived his life well. He has a house.
Well, my mom always said home is where the heart is, so.
He wishes he had a house. But yeah, I try to approach her and like cut her free if she's tied to it.
Yeah, she is tied to it.
Yeah, I just bring out my axe and just chop off the rope.
Don't know any of you from the town. Saw you briefly, some of you this morning. Why do you care? You should be just getting out of Herot as fast as you can.
I look at her and I say, it's very much like a scene where you think I'm about to be like, you know, I've spent my life. You're young, but instead, yeah, it's like a time for a stoic line where it's like, you know, he's old, she's young, like it's not her time. But instead, he goes, "I'm looking for a black orb."
No, we've come to save
And
you.
then
We are the Legion of Jeffs.
And then as we unshackle her, I just lay down on the fucking stone.
Largely, I don't. They're just kind of at a loss for what to do.
But yes, you might want to run in case the wolf shows up right now. As I look around, like comedic timing. Where?
It's right
Yeah.
behind me, isn't it?
Yeah. In fact, at that, Nelly would try to back outside of the ring and just kind of.
Nelly, as you are backing outside of the ring, sun has just dipped down below the horizon, and you smell a putrid scent like rotting swamp water. A miasmic mist clings low to the ground that seems to be emanating from the area. You hear the soft sound of a canine growl, but far deeper and filled with malice than you've ever heard before. As a distinctly lupine form is moving through the mists outside the Standing Stones.
Oh, she's backing back in. she's getting with the group. Fuck.
You might want to stand, Master Homeless.
Emerging from the miasma, you see the cursed hound of Herot a dog mostly in silhouette. Its front paws are like the claws of a savage eagle, and its head has a almost distinctly reptilian sense to it, and its eyes gleam with a fiendish intelligence that no beast should have. I'm just going to use this because this is going to be theater of the mind, so I'll just use this as a little combat scene. You should see a little token of the hound right there. All right. I mean, unless you guys want to try to talk it out.
Someone tells me he's not going to listen.
Little pupper.
Adding.
How do we roll initiative?
I'll just add your tokens to the turn order, and then it's just 1d20 plus
If you click
your.
the button, there's an initiative button on the character sheet. If you click on your token first.
See if it works like that. Yeah.
I mean, mine works. So.
Okay, cool. Don't forget you add your level for the warriors of the party.
It is. I don't have an agility modifier, so.
Gotcha.
My luck may be bad, but my personality and agility are just kind of middle of the road at zeros.
All right.
I forget. Does stamina give you bonus hit points?
Yeah. You already determined your hit points last time. That's why you have 12.
Gotcha. I couldn't remember if we rolled or had max for level 1 or not.
Rolled for level 1.
That makes more sense.
This is old school style. But Barge Hands is up first.
How close is the hound?
We'll say 20 feet away.
Is that within range to invoke my patron?
Depends what result you get.
Is there such thing as preparing an action for when he gets too close?
I don't believe preparing an action is an old school thing, so no, I think you need to actually just decide what you're doing now.
Okay, I'm going to invoke my patron then, because he's definitely going to be within striking range in 20 feet.
Yep. All right, so go ahead and try to cast that spell. As a reminder, it's 1d20 plus your intelligence mod plus your caster level of 1. And you'll need a minimum of 12. Because it's a level 1 spell.
Here we go. No!
It's just a lost failure, not the worst.
Yep. All right, so 2 to 11, failure, but you do not lose your ability to invoke your patron this day.
God damn it.
You utter arcane words and try to call out to your patron of Azikarai, however the fuck you pronounce that.
Azikir. How do you pronounce this? Aarakocra. No, that's not it.
Lutheran, the homeless man has become babbling.
Yeah, it looks like it's up to us, Tyke. Get my sword and shield on. But don't go doing anything stupid. Yeah, just try and keep myself between the hound and party and the girl, assuming she's still in the middle of the place.
Yeah, she backed in to huddle up with you.
I ain't gonna go charging out to meet it.
Okay.
All right, so Barchanza's gonna die.
Probably.
So are you
Such is
gonna
life.
So you definitely, it's within 20 feet, so you can move and you can still attack or do something if you want to there. Yes.
I think he's just saying that he wants to stay between the rest of the party and the hound.
Okay, so not
the hound.
making an attack. Good to know. Tyke.
I'm gonna like step off to the side of the group, and I'm gonna try to like bang my shield with my weapon and try to attack it, get its attention towards me, rather than everyone else. So I think that would be would that be a mighty deed?
No, that's just you role playing.
Okay.
It's old school, so.
Okay, I wasn't sure because they
Don't-
said you
don't
could
cheat.
do stuff, but I wasn't sure. I'm basically just trying to goad it into attacking me.
Yeah.
So I guess like, with the same thing, I could just approach it then, huh?
You could just approach it and attack it, and if you get a 3 or higher on a deed, you can then possibly draw it. That's how that works. It's just if you're getting both, you just have to describe what you're doing before.
I'm basically just trying to run up to it and like hook it with my axe and like draw its head away from the group and towards me and get it angry.
Sure.
I didn't add my modifier, so that'd be a 12.
Yeah, that's why I.
Yeah,
said
no,
it's-
I'll do it from
it's
now
easy.
on myself. But I also need to roll the D3.
Mhm.
So that's a 3, so that would make it a 13 to hit and a 15 for damage.
All right. Let's see. Takes.
Wait, no, it would be a 14 to hit. So wait, no, 50. Yeah, 15 to hit. Or 15. So yeah, 15 to 15, I think.
Okay,
16.
that was
Go,
like
go for
there's
16.
like
17.
So
What's the
sorry,
number?
no, I keep forgetting the modifier. I'm gonna do it by hand from now on.
okay. All right, so it is. And what's your strength modifier?
2.
2. Okay, so yes, it is a 15.
Yeah.
So that will hit.
Sorry.
That's a really good hit.
Yes, it is a very good hit. 15 damage. No, 15 damage. Tyke charges forward. He lashes out with his meteoric battle axe, and it slices into the side of the hound, trying to jerk it away from the group. It snarls as acidic yellow blood gushes out onto the ground. You have its attention.
I'm just gonna hit my macro real quick. Ignore this roll. I just wanted to see it work. Okay, it works.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be my turn.
Okay. It is now the hound's turn. It is going to both bite and claw at Tyke.
Goodbye, everybody.
You're not a level 0 character anymore.
They have hit points.
11
We'll miss.
and 16.
That meets. So I think that hits.
That'll hit then.
One point of damage.
Yeah, its claws scrape. Yep. Its claws scrape at you, but having difficulty finding purchase on your chainmail, they're attempting to hold it back on its shield. You're fighting against its musculature, only to discover that you suddenly stumble forward as the weight disappears, as the hound assumes a gaseous form, begins slipping through the standing stones, attempting to circle around the party.
This ain't a normal dog.
I think we knew that.
Ellie.
I thought it was a dire wolf.
So it's not a physical form we can attack at this point?
It's gaseous form, so
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you any mechanic stuff because
Okay.
this is old school. You're like,
Okay,
it's gas.
yeah, no, for sure. I just wasn't sure if it like spread out and like just
No,
surrounded
you
us.
you
Okay.
can definitely see it. It's like
Okay. So is it officially night or is it
it's definitely nighttime.
definitely nighttime? Okay. All right, fuck it. I will try magic missile since it's not the best time of day for it, but let's give it a shot.
That's not a sentence I never thought of here. I'll cast magic missile even though it's not quite the right time of day for it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the spell fizzles.
Yep. I don't have it open in front of me, but do you have the magic missile open in front of you? Does that make you lose the spell? Or does it just not work?
Let me double check. I think it just. That falls into lost failure.
All right. Lost means that you cannot cast the magic missile spell for the rest of the day.
Okay. All right.
Barge hands.
I'll
Oh,
just
sorry,
reposition to be, I guess, to try to put Luther between her,
Mm.
or no, have Luther between her and the dog.
Mm.
Hound.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you see the hound circling around the gaseous form. You outreach your hands. You attempt to call upon magic for the first time, only to get fizzle sparks, and then you feel the spell leave you from within your mind, and then you scramble behind Luthanar's shield. But it is barge hands.
Oh wait, could they just not cast magic missile ever again now?
Just for the day.
Okay, I thought you were
Oh, that'd be
No,
brutal.
it's gone for good.
That'd be brutal if it was, you have a 50-50 chance of just never using the spell again ever.
All right, we made a deal, okay, and I take my payment up front. So okay, Stormfiller.
Man, right.
Okay, that succeeds. Let's see. On a result of 12 to 13, Azai Durkan sends a bolt of static lightning towards one of the caster's enemies, doing 2d6 damage, fortitude save to have. Can be any target within 100 feet.
Oh wow, nice.
Now he turns out he's a bad guy and he targets us.
All right, let's. I assume you are targeting the hound.
Yeah, I was muted, but I said I you know who I'm targeting.
All right, so Luthanar.
Oh god. The hound. I'm hitting the hound.
Okay, so that does succeed the save.
So he takes 4.
Yep,
Probably.
so he takes 4. However, in his gaseous form, he does take full damage. So what you guys feel is that Barge Hands shouts to the sky saying, "We had a deal and I take my payment up front." There's a sudden breeze that blows through that is just unseasonably hot and dry, like a desert wind. And then a single bolt of lightning, just like that's crimson, comes from the sky and strikes the hound's gaseous form. It ripples through the clouds as it returns back to its corporeal state.
Holy shit.
But I believe that's the because of how high you rolled on your patron bond, you can only use invoke patron once a day. You can attempt another time to do another roll on patron bond spell to attempt to strengthen it to get more uses, but it's still just once. But either way,
All right.
Luthanar's turn.
Mm-hmm. So the speed roll goes to both attack and damage if it hits.
Yep.
Should I just roll that separate, or is it rolled for each? Roll?
It's the same.
I know
actually, I don't know.
you roll it once, and that number's added to both attack and damage. You don't roll it separately for each one, which is why I have mine separated.
Okay.
So, like, if you roll a 3, it's for both attack and damage, but if you roll 1, it's for attack and damage. Also, if you do an actual deed, unless it's a 3, it doesn't succeed, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to
Yeah.
and you have to describe it beforehand.
Yeah.
First level. So I guess I'm run up to it after the lightning bolt hits it and attack with my sword, and then follow up for the deed with the shield bash to try and knock it off balance or down.
Sure.
Let's see. That probably won't hit with a total of 11 or 10.
10. No. You run forward, you swing your sword down, but it recovers quickly from the lightning strike, and it drops down on all fours and snarls as it slides away as your sword stabs through air.
Is it still mostly mist right now?
It is corporeal.
Okay.
Tyke.
Tyke just freight trains over to the thing to swing downward at it.
Hmm.
Don't have anything fancy I can really think of to do right now, so I'm just gonna swing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the beauty of the D dice. Ooh, natural one. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. You're wearing chainmail, right?
And a shield. So
Ooh, okay, so that
so
is.
the penalty's a 5 and a penalty of a 1, so 6 total. If that's what you're looking for, or
No. It's hold on, let me because
Okay.
they have armor has fumble dice.
Oh.
So chainmail is a fumble dice of a D12, and then a shield is a D8. I believe you roll those together, and then tell me the result of them combined.
Okay, D12, D8, 13.
13.
I'm dead.
You trip badly. You fall hard, suffering 1d3 damage in the process, and you are prone and must use your next round to stand.
It actually could kill my character.
I take 3 damage.
That would kill
Kurt's
my
worse than the
character.
claw.
What you see Tyke decide he's gonna freight train this thing. It just dodged out of the way. He charges forward. He raises up the meteoric axe behind his head, like full on, like shield first. And when he swings it down, he forgets that the axe is much heavier than a normal axe. He overbalances and he stumbles forward, and his forehead collides straight into one of the standing stones.
To the
Getting
point where the stone is
overconfident,
not
lad.
good.
Getting overconfident.
I didn't know the stone was 45-degree angle. That's my turn.
But the hound will use this opportunity to jump on Luthanar.
I thought I was a goner. He's just gonna kill that guy now.
Fight.
I think it's gonna try to kill all of us.
Okay. Let's see, it's unarmored. Someone else do the honors. Roll me a 1d4.
Someone else. I already did a crit fumble just a second ago.
One?
Now it's time for a critical good.
Alright, hold on. Damn it, where'd it go? Here it is. Your incompetent blow makes the laughing stock of the party, but otherwise no damage. So it leaps towards Luthanar, and it was kind of dazed from the lightning bolt, and so it just whiffs the first charging bite, and it rights itself, and it's going to try to do the next one. But it's not able to get around his shield, which he's using to block.
All right, Cornelia, you got this.
All right. Running up, she is going to basically run in, pat Luther on the back, and cast Enlarge, and see if it does any better.
So this is a fun part about the Enlarge spell. Is it says duration of 1 round, and I'm used to Pathfinder where 1 round is all the way through the turn order. But this is old school. Well, 1 round is a term used for exploration for 10 minutes.
Oh,
So
that is important to
shit.
know. That makes a whole difference. All right,
Yeah.
19. Ooh, okay, 19. Target size increases by 50%, conferring +2 bonus to attacks, damage, and AC due to greater size and strength.
Isn't it supposed to be the like more modern version of the old school system?
Yep. Because magic is fun. Let it be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if I remember, your manifestation for this is that they literally wink out of reality and come back.
Yeah.
So, for you guys, Luthanar disappears and then reappears like half his height taller. For Luthanar, you blink and you're looking down on everyone.
Yeah, that's new.
But hey, successful cast. What's the mercurial magic on that one, by the way?
The mercurial. Oh, that's a good question. That is St. Gygax's Fire. Casting a spell results in the wizard being limbed by flickering chartreuse fire for 1d4 rounds, granting opponents a +2 bonus to attacks against the caster.
Saint Gygax.
Also, he's much easier to hit now.
So,
She's much easier to hit now.
purely role play question there for you, Nelly. You probably didn't know this would happen about
No.
you catching on fire. You're not taking damage.
Yeah,
but
just start trying to pat yourself out.
Is there any person who has been born with a more D&D villain last name than Gary Gygax?
I know, right?
Men, we must defeat the Gygax, for it threatens this realm.
I don't know. Bernie Madoff sounds like a D&D character name.
Madoff the Dark.
I mean, that would be literally a perfect rogue name. My name is Madoff.
Madoff. My name's Madoff, like a bandit.
You ever see that where you're looking at the IMDb and stuff, and you occasionally see people that you're like, oh man, that person won the name lottery. Like I think I saw a guy earlier when I was watching a cartoon that the voice actor's name, I think it was like Richard Rocket. I'm like, is his name literally Dick Rocket?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god. What does Choking Cloud do?
I mean,
Do they need
mine
to breathe?
is Dick Chowder, so I can't really say anything. Well, it's not actually Chowder; it just sounds like it.
Let's
so that's
see.
why I got called a lot.
Choking Cloud.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, you got it.
It mist that chokes the target. Cast summons a cloud of caustic acidic mist that chokes the target. So it probably still hits. If I'm gonna guess, which I am.
What's the
So I'm
area
gonna
effect
cast-
on that one?
That's a good question. Area of effect. See range, duration, casting time. I don't see area of effect.
It's probably based upon what you roll, the result.
Oh, yeah, I see. One designated target is engulfed in a caustic singing cloud for 1d4, suffering -1. The cloud follows the target; it cannot escape. Up to 1d4 small individual clouds of toxic gas appear. So it depends.
Okay, cool. Give it a shot then.
Good. Now a second one. Yes, he tries to cast another spell, and it works.
21. That's a good roll.
Yeah.
A 21. It's going to be a single acidic poisonous cloud appears with a radius of 20 feet centered on a target.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hitting everyone.
For 2d4 plus 4 rounds. The targets in the cloud suffer -2 penalty to all rolls, attacks, damage, skills, and saves. It gets worse. Take 2 points of damage each round and must make a fort save when first exposed or be poisoned. -1d4 agility. Duration 1 day.
All right. 42 saves. I'll roll for the hound. That's
Wait, do you say this is a 20-foot radius?
20-foot radius? Yeah.
Yes.
Does
So
that make he's in range?
I think he's still farther away.
Okay.
I think it's everyone, including the hound. Oh, and the girl. Now we'll say she probably ran for cover.
Yeah, she's probably keeping as far away from that as possible.
To be fair, very, very, very earlier on, I said while they were going shopping, I was grabbing her, so technically she should have already been gone.
All right, so
Not
the
good to
hound
know.
succeeds. It's DC 12. It's always the same DC as what you would take to cast it, is what's spelled DC, which is a nice way to remember it.
Gotcha.
Is that half?
You're just not poisoned if you
Saved none.
Yeah. So you just don't take the poisoned effect where you lose agility.
But does it have to do it again next round? Because on it for 1d4 plus.
I believe it said the
when first exposed or be poisoned.
Yeah, that's just the agility damage. On its turn, it'll still take the 2 damage from the cloud in general.
Oh,
How much
okay, I'm just making sure.
agility damage?
1d4.
1d4.
All right, guys, this cloud's up for 7 rounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving this as soon as my turn.
But
goes
if
around.
we all run away, it'll probably kill this thing.
Oh goddamn, 4 agility damage.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think it will probably have a higher movement speed than we do.
I mean, we just need to get out of the gas at this point. We can keep fighting
Yeah.
afterwards.
So Barge Hands waves his hand in incantation, formulating a blue cloud, according to the manifestation description.
Yes.
That is just awful.
And he has just revealed his magic farts that he was telling you about.
Oh, it's so much worse.
I believe you still need one from Luthanar and Tyke fortitude saves.
I already rolled.
There, but
Oh, you did? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
they're-
see this.
yeah.
I rolled a 17.
I need to use the restroom, so
Yep, it's fine.
that's my turn.
Luthanar, you take 2 points of damage from the acidic cloud that Barge Hands just cast, but you are big.
And what's the other thing? The one before.
Oh, that's only if you failed the
Okay.
the fortitude, which you succeeded, so you don't take the agility damage.
And I missed the. It's +2 to attack and AC for being large.
And like you're like 50% big, and it's a +2 to
Attack, AC, and damage, I believe, but I know you take a -2 penalty to attack due to the cloud.
Yes, that'd be negated by the cloud at the moment.
You'd still get that damage though.
Mm-hmm. And it's we can move after we attack in the system or not.
Yeah. It's less of an action economy manipulation and more like you describe what you're doing on your turn. So if you say I stab and then I run away, or I jump down off the chandelier, that kind of thing. So if you want to say I take a swing and then I book it out of there.
Oh yeah.
If it doesn't die, I might get an AOO, but other than that.
Yeah, gonna strike down. Yeah, since I'm big and the sword is big. Actually, that's another question before I commit. If I strike it, if I drop the sword, will it remain large?
You know what? Considering that the enlarge spell explicitly also works on objects, I will say yes.
Okay. So what I'm gonna try and do is stab down at this dog, so that even though I know it can turn into mist, I might get it to stick around for a bit. Stab the sword through the dog into the ground and try and pin it there for a minute or two.
All right.
And
Yeah.
leave the
If you
sword
get-
and run. Miss and no.
Oof.
So, sword is sitting in the acid,
Mhm.
but I am
But-
out of the acid.
All right. He'll get 1 claw attack as you make you try to beat feet out of the cloud. Ooh,
That'll hit.
he does hit, but not a critical hit for you, thankfully.
I'm back. How badly
Alright.
did I fuck everyone over?
Very.
So you stab down. The hound barely tumbles out of the way. You pull your sword out of the soft soil and you turn to leave the blue cloud. But it takes that moment to attack at a vulnerable spot on your enlarged ankle where your armor isn't, and scoring 2 points of damage with a nasty claw. But you are out of the cloud, and it is Tyke's turn. You take 2 points of damage, Tyke, and you need to use your action to stand up because you are still prone in the cloud.
I use my action to stand up, and I beat feet away from the cloud. Probably in the same direction as Luther.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my whole turn, really.
All right. Let's see. All right. So, God, that hound so deeply wants to go for Cornelia, but it's just intelligent enough to know that that's right, the cloud. Okay. So what you guys see is it takes a shot at Luthanar as he gets out, and everyone else is fleeing the crowd. The hound goes to leap to go after Luthanar, but as it winds back, the acidic nature of the cloud makes one of its back legs go out. It collapses to the ground, its last hit point expended. However, the satisfying defeat to the hound that you're expecting is offset as it subconsciously dissolves into a gaseous form, and the air is filled with a sense of demonic laughter, leaving no ambiguity that this has been a setback for the Hound, not a true defeat.
What the hell?
Cornelia, take 2 points of damage, then you get out of the cloud on your turn.
That did more harm to us than good, I think.
I mean, I killed the Hound, didn't I? That was the goal. Didn't see a black orb, though.
Didn't look like it's gone for good, though. There's more to it.
Well, you're the ones from the Smoke Village. You should know all about vaporous mists.
That's the one that just made a huge one right there.
Don't know much about demons.
So this might be a problem, because we probably just piss it off. Oh.
Well, I don't know what to do now. That was kind of my only lead.
But the Morgana pokes her head around from the standing stone. Did you ward it off?
Possibly.
They seemed annoyed at the very least.
We think he's coming back. We don't think he's gone for good.
I'm concerned for the people of my town, but I would be lying to say I'm not grateful to not be eaten alive right now.
Well, we got to keep our search looking for what caused this monster. If you know anyone who might know anything, now's the time to tell us.
There's one person I might know. Maybe we should head back to Hrot while I speak.
All right.
And like 9 minutes later, Uther just blinks out of his existence and returns to his normal size.
The shrinking sound from Super Mario Brothers plays. What's your agility at, by the way?
Mine?
Loki?
8.
Yeah, 8. Okay, so you're not terrible. You're just feeling stiff jointed.
Yep. That was the worst smell ever.
You know, when you said you could use a bunch of gas, I did not expect that kind of gas.
But Morgana explains, well, you could try asking Lore. He is the bard in Hrot. He often patrons my father's inn. He collects all the stories.
Seem as good of places I need to go.
You guys make it back to Hrot after dark. The young gate guard leans over again.
Actually, before we get there, Nellie will say, so how do we want to approach this? Do we want to act like Barge Hands was the sacrifice and just lays low? Or do we announce what we've done and potentially piss everybody off?
Well, I can't imagine it's going to want to...
More
people.
Look over at the barge hand 5 feet behind us.
Something tells me he's not going to be quiet.
All right, well, we'll see how the night goes.
I am the savior of this community.
Take all the credit. Please take all the credit.
Start proselytizing your deity.
Yep. Yeah, he doesn't have to. It's a quid pro quo thing. He doesn't have to worship him if he doesn't want to.
Me and my elite group of warriors here.
Fuck.
If you'd kindly gather up in the town square, people with beer and money on the left, attractive young women on the right.
Everybody else go home.
I'm a generous man. I will accept sixes and overs.
All the poors and uglies, please find your way kindly back home.
You are presently safe, but this is a celebration.
Good news, bad news. Bad news is the Hound will probably come back. Good news is probably won't have to worry about birth control.
Good news is I'll probably be gone when it does.
Which
means it basically doesn't exist.
You make it back to Hrot. And the young gate guard leans over. You lot look like you've been through an ordeal. I'm guessing, sees Morgana. I'll let you guys in.
Will it?
And, it's good to see you safe, Morgana. And, let's in the gate. You guys are back within the town now. Where would you guys like to go?
To that source
All right.
of stories. Yeah.
Awaken the bard.
You enter to the tavern just as somber as it was before. All eyes come to you guys as they see not only Morgana's return, but also that Barge Hands still very much alive. Lots of exhales of acceptance as eyes turn downcast, except from Brogan, who immediately comes around the counter and scoops up his daughter in a big hug. Just completely, like, unabashedly crying, super happy that she's not dead. As you guys are watching this scene, you see a man sitting over in the corner. I say man, but he's about the age of Morgana, who also rises up when she came back. He's wearing probably what Cass, passes for colorful clothing in Herat, but they don't have exactly a lot of exotic dyes here. And you see, like, him start to want to go forward as well because he's extremely happy to see her return. But then he's, like, stopping himself because it's the scene. But Brogan turns to you and goes, Thank you. Thank you for bringing my daughter back. Please, room, board, food, you won't need to pay for anything of that from me from now on. And you, Barge Hands, you look good, I guess.
Thank you.
Ironically, the only one there without a scratch on him.
Yeah.
I'm very skilled.
The other three people, very poisoned.
How long does the poison last?
For you,
I know.
it was a couple days, wasn't it, Michael?
I think the
One
poison
day.
only lasts for a day.
1 day.
1 day. Okay.
Is that 24 hours or just after a long rest, effectively?
24 hours. We don't
Okay.
do long rests in this old school.
I know it wasn't 24. I know
So
it wasn't
sundown
like that, but-
tomorrow.
Okay.
When the Hound comes back.
Yeah.
Please, I'll get you some mead. Least I can do. And he and his daughter scurry off. You're not exactly getting a hero's welcome from the other patrons, but no one's confronting you about anything.
Yeah.
All right. What was our lead on the finding out how to keep this thing dead forever?
There's somebody that knew stories, right? Knew all those stories.
Mhm.
Bard, yeah.
All right. Let's go over there.
Also, weren't you supposed to see some church person at midnight?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll head that way.
Don't convert on our watch.
No worries there.
All right, so wizard number 1 is peeling off to go to the chapel, and everyone else is going to talk to the bard. Which scene do you guys want to do first?
I say
I'd say
church.
Yeah, we could do that one.
Seems like it's going to be funnier than ours.
So you arrive at the chapel,
Mhm.
where the 2 younger silent devotees are currently sweeping up. It is modest, with wooden pews in the cobblestone structure, lit only by flickering candlelight. But you do see a large stained glass window at the back depicting the goddess Justinica wearing armor and wielding a spiked warhammer, battling a rather fiendish-looking hound.
Very familiar.
It looks different, but it's thematically similar.
Thematically, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like a direct replica of the one that you just fought, but it's like a dog with devil horns. You're like, that's a demon dog.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I have to scroll to the part where it lists all their names again.
There's the demon dog.
Is Father the traditional honorific for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome. So you have decided to come. It's shabby, perhaps. You are not introduced before. I am Father Beacom, spiritual leader of Herat.
It's an honor to meet you. I am. Just go by Nellie. Just somebody that finds herself on a weird journey. What? And she would kind of nod towards that mural. What? I don't think I've heard that story. Is that a story or is it just a depiction?
It is a depiction when the holy worship of Justinica came from the south to the northlands here, pushing back the savage ways of the past. These lands you see were formerly ruled by savage kings, worshipped foul beast demons. The ruins of their folly can be found even in the local areas, such as the mounds to the north.
How long has it been since those kings have fallen?
Centuries. Now then, you wish to further your piety with Justinica. Now, I have the holy book of Justinica, the ways of justice, but I know that you cannot read, so I shall cite passages to you. To be fair, most people in this town cannot read.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. It's more.
No, I was just laughing at the delivery of it.
I am stuck. Yeah. Like, oh fuck, I'm stuck here with Bible reading. She would try to phrase questions as as though she's kind of paying attention to the stories, but more just trying to steer in the direction of like finding subtle ways to encourage him to provide aid of some kind. You know.
Roll me a 1d20 plus your personality modifier.
13.
Okay. One moment. Let me see here.
Like especially if they could like name the weaknesses of the adversary or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm doing that, how intently are you actually adhering the preachings of the goddess Justinica?
She's going through it more like somebody that's trying to find like maybe hints and secrets that were kind of buried in parable. So more of like an investigator's eye rather than a believer's ear.
Yeah. So the synopsis, without me reading the flavor text verbatim here, is that she's the paladin god. If you were to be a paladin type, you would follow her. Armor, long swords, fighting evil, saving innocent, redeeming people, all that jazz. Father Biko makes a special point of pointing out the redeeming thing, as that's what he is trying to do for the people of Harant. One thing you definitely do pick out, especially on the 13 of the conversation, is that she is often associated with wielding a longsword, and most of her clerics wield longswords. So it is interesting that there is a stained glass window depicting her wielding a spiked warhammer. As for trying to convince the father to help, he is primarily focused on the town's spiritual well-being. He genuinely believes that will save people.
Not willing to give any sort of blessing or
he will.
Like that.
He'll give you some holy water if you insist upon it.
I would, just as a sort of
But yes, he speaks about the holy work of Justinica, of the Helmless Vigil. And as you are slightly glazing over of the Bible passages, you do notice that there is an altar covered in a very expensive purple velvet sheet.
Like, is it the like cost of the material that catches my eye, or that it's covering something?
Well, it's covering the altar.
Yeah.
There's clearly something underneath this, and it is like the only glossy thing that you've seen in this town.
Okay. She'll make a mental note of that, and once the sermon's done, she would thank the father for his time and his wisdom, and go to rejoin the rest of the party.
Meanwhile, while that's going on, how the rest of you approach who you assume is the bard?
I mean, they had the girl guiding us, didn't they?
Yeah, you can. You're easily evil. I was trying to set up that was the colorful guy in the corner that you saw. But what's your approach on this guy? Because Morgana can easily point him out.
Yeah. Let's just walk up to him.
Fully, my good sir.
So, yeah.
I heard you know a lot about stuff.
Picked up a story or two. You certainly seem like quite the band of people to have swept into town in one day. Rescued Fair Morgana, and I assumed crossed swords with the Hound.
Hey, the beast is challenging. That's
Didn't have a sword though.
I was speaking poetic. Never mind.
I think poetry's lost on that, man. And of little use in our task, other than what it might contain knowledge-wise. The last seem to think you knew something. we might be able to put to use.
I've been collecting stories from travelers at all times, as well as from people around town. There's a million rumors surrounding how the hound was slain. When it first came to Herat a month ago, some of the Jarl's men did confront it in the streets. After several grievous casualties, they thought that they struck it down, but it only returned the previous night. They say that no mortal weapon can slay it.
Yeah, I know you meant the next night, but I'm just like, oh great, now it's a time traveling dog too.
Time paradox.
We killed it once, and then it showed up a day earlier.
Are you seeking to slay the beast?
I'd as soon leave, but this is a problem. Might be able to secure travel funds from.
Well, there'll be another drawing tomorrow, so if you hope to do that, I would suggest you find a way soon. I can share with you what little I have found out. It's the least I can do for saving Morgana. Now, there's lots of different talks about how to slay the hound. Lots of different theories have gone around. Some say it can only be defeated by restraining it with true mortal strength before the killing blow is landed. Others, well, they think the mad widow Yamei here in town knows the secret. I wouldn't truck with that, and I don't put a lot of faith in magic, friend. Me, I have my own theory. If you'd be interested in hearing.
Go ahead.
He leans in a little conspiratorially. Have you heard tales of the Savage Kings?
I can't say I have.
Ancient warlords that ruled over the land of the Norsemen way back. They built monuments and burial mounds. There's one such mound to the north, about a half-day's walk from Herat. According to legend, the warlord, the Savage King entombed within, is called Hulfanar. They said that he possessed a magical spear that could slay immortal hounds and a magical shield that could turn away any beast's attack.
That's a lead.
I don't know about the presence of the spear or the shield, but there is a burial mound in the woods to the north. And there is definitely something about it. I've heard stories. Woodsmen, thieves that go up that direction, how the forest keeps its distance from the mound. Not a single root of a tree seeks to go closer. As if there is something eerie about that place, or perhaps the king of Elfland himself has forbidden the trees to grow closer.
Yeah. Got to see what the old crazy lady has to say. Don't feel much like holding the dog down while someone else takes a swing at it.
If you decide to go that direction, good luck with the widow. She's a piece of work.
Probably. But we've got the choice of holding it down, whatever she has, or going to find a dead king's treasure. A bit of looting never did anyone in dirty, but it's as you say, is likely more mundane but painful reasons that the place is kept clear. Such places are often rife with those who don't like to be seen doing what they do.
Yeah. I don't want to think about what people want to do out in the woods. People over at the Three Rats, man, they're worse enough. Den of
Imagine if they had a
Rogues.
fourth
that one.
rat.
Mm-hmm.
Then unless there's anything you guys want to talk about, we can sort of time skip to an hour and a half later when Nellie returns from Bible camp.
Yeah, don't think there's anything else that would be plot relevant. I mean,
Mhm.
just killing time here for her to get back.
Yep. But hey, you get free drink and food from Bogan for rescuing his daughter.
I eat so many beans.
Speaking of food.
Yeah, molest that bag of chips.
So how's healing work in this system?
Every night's sleep you get, you heal 1 hit point.
Huzzah.
If you spend a full 24 hours just bed rest and laying around inside the inn, you heal 2. Ability score damage heals separately. You healed 1 ability score point per day, or the if you do the full rest, you heal 2. The exception being luck and also the poison damage that Loki has, because it already all goes away within a day.
So after the 24 hours, my agility returns back to 12.
Yes, it's a special
Okay.
case.
All right, just making sure.
This is why clerics are very helpful, because they have an on-tap healing ability. So you guys are running into the problem where you did defeat the Hound, but can you defeat him next time?
Right.
And the next time, this isn't 5th edition. You can't long rest back up to full in between bouts. The attrition will get you.
Well, I mean, half the attrition we took was our own damn wizard.
Yeah.
We might just let the dog eat next time if he does that again.
But
It's
yes,
only
you
a
rejoin.
moderate chance it'll get arcane power from consuming a wizard.
Hey, the chance is never 0.
Nellie would return in. Oh, God.
Just making the "you are what you eat" joke.
I gotcha. Nellie would return and say, after a long sermon, seems like there's burial mounds to the north where the civilization or the kings that were known to bring about these hounds were laid to rest.
Yeah, we got the same story from the bard. Although specifically that he had a spear what would solve our problem, and a shield what would prevent the problem from hurting us.
Really?
Yes.
I noticed in the chapel that for a faith that's all about long swords, the mural of Justinica slaying such a hound was with a spiked. Was it spiked hammer? You said
Warhammer, yeah.
spiked spiked warhammer. And there's something about the altar that just caught my eye. I can't really put my finger on, but it's like the most well-appointed thing in this entire town. Maybe such a weapon to defeat a hound might be hidden within an altar.
It wouldn't surprise me. How are you gonna get at it, though?
No idea, but just saying that there might be something there if we are so inclined. What the fuck was that cloud? Still fucking me up. Did you get any more leads?
We're gonna go see an old lady, I
It's a
think.
crazy old lady, apparently.
Oh.
There's a legend about a spear and a shield, I believe.
Also something about holding the dog down before delivering the killing blow, but
Might have been easier to do if it wasn't that cloud and that large state you're in. Might have made it a bit easier. All right. Well, shall we meet up with that other
Yeah.
contact? See what information they could provide.
It's getting rather late, though.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose we could rest.
Might see what the lady has to say in the morning, and then head out to Tomb Raid.
Listen, we've been underground for like a week. This is the first time we're gonna have real beds. You're not taking this from me.
Real beds. It's realistic medieval times. It's hay with a wool sheet over
Exactly.
it.
Real bed. Ain't nothing like waking up itchier than when you went to sleep.
I think that's one of my favorite things to do to people to get very used to like the cleaned up modern fantasy, which I do enjoy, to be fair. But it's just fun to just describe like a really like realistic what a medieval tavern would be. It's like, yep, there's flies everywhere, the ground's filled with hay, there's just a bucket they shit in the other room, and everyone just sleeps on bundles of hay in a big common room. They're like, this place is a shithole. I'm like, it's average.
Yeah.
Drink the alcohol, not the water. You'll catch less diseases. But yes, you are able to.
Of course, the alcohol kills the microbes.
Exactly. You are able to sleep through the night and heal your 1 hit point each.
Yeah.
You awake the next morning too. I know I'm setting myself up for a joke here. I'm just gonna get it out of the way. You wake up to the sound in the morning of a cowbell being rung in the square.
I need more of that cowbell.
I knew it.
Listen,
Is there a
you knew it was
reference here
coming.
that
I
I'm
had to
missing?
deliver. Okay.
Yep.
Am I missing a reference?
Need more cowbell?
Yeah, it's a Saturday Night Live skit.
Mhm.
It's more cow-
Okay. Yeah. I don't know it.
I literally can't mention a cowbell thing without someone saying.
To be fair, if you hadn't paused about the joke, I probably wouldn't have even said anything. I would have thought it, but I wouldn't have said it.
I never know with you guys. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is fair.
But you are easily able to see through the barred windows of the second story of the inn that everyone is coming out of their houses to gather up in the town square as the Jarl and his men are standing there, one of them ringing a cowbell to bring the town to attention. What would you like to do?
Seems like it's important.
Hear ye, hear ye. The king is officially taking his 4th underage bride. Oh, not important at all. In fact, maybe we should let the hound take care of this problem.
I've read a few people playing this module. I've never heard of anyone saying, "I don't know, maybe we should be Team Hound." How could we speed this along? Yeah, freaking barge hands looking out the window, seeing everyone gathered up. He's like, just one choking cloud, and it's all over.
Yeah, my spells have regenerated, haven't they? Or is it this night?
Usually magic goes by sunrise and sunset. So yes, you get your ability to invoke your patron. Your choking cloud, you successfully cast it, so you never lost it. You could just do it again right after if you had wanted to.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know that's how that worked.
Yeah, you could full on magic spam. It's just if you get a natural one, it's gonna be a time.
I just thought it was like if you use it, it goes away, and if you miss it, then only sometimes it goes away.
Yeah, no, that's the fun part about Wizards of this is that they are their spells are so variable, like how that you accidentally poisoned everyone, but you can just keep firing. It's really fun. But you'll swiftly find yourself at the enmity of all your party's warriors because you keep clouding them by mistake.
Look, you guys can go read the table. There were several results where I just heard them now.
It's steak, he says.
But
Most of them did not have a 20-foot radius.
Are you guys
Oh,
going to
yeah, I know.
head out to the square, or are you going to do something else?
I'll head out to the square.
Yeah, I'll probably have direct view of everybody because I think she's worried that they're about to get blamed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After enough people have gathered up, there's no murmuring. It seems that everyone else knows what this is about. The Jarl steps up and says, "It would seem, in light of Morgana's return, that we will be doing another name drawing today. Lest the Hound come after sundown, kill more of Hrot."
I tap my staff on the ground again and I say, I volunteer!
He just like, there's a moment where everyone stares at you, like directly, and then he just goes back to talking.
I'll be waiting on the stone. And I walk away.
A kind of a Weasley man in robes comes out from behind the Jarl, big worm tongue energy, and he takes the wooden box off the post, and he brings it over to the Jarl. It says, "In light of recent visitors that have come, several names have been added to the box. We will
Yes,
now
the Council of Jeffs.
We will now be drawing." They open up the lid of the box. The Jarl sticks his hand in. He pulls out a piece of paper. He unfolds it. Gives a deep. Does anyone know someone named? Holds it over to Father Beacon, who reads it, nods, whispers in his ear. "Barge hands."
Nelly will
That's
point.
that crazy man who started walking towards the stone.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Yep, we're dead."
They show up and he's crisscross applesauce was waiting.
He turns to several of his Thanes and goes, who are his personal guard in the chainmail and everything. And he goes, "All right, round him up. We got time to the altar." And 4 guys with armor and weapons are gonna go try to scoop up Barge Hands.
He's already on his way to the stone.
Yeah.
Come up to him and he'll tell him they don't have to tie him down. He's gonna go there, and he's gonna kill him again.
Thanes go,
So who should go talk to that old lady before he gets
Yeah.
killed tonight?
Yeah.
Barge Hands, we have our commands from our Lord. We need to make sure that a sacrifice is done tonight. Otherwise, this will keep happening every night.
I was sitting here on a mission, and I will kill this hound as many times as it'll take to find this goddamn black orb.
So
I
this
have not
gives
heard
us
hide nor
freedom.
hair.
This gives us a free day to find that spear, right?
If he dies, yeah. I like the idea that he's like, I will kill this hound. I will find this black orb. And they're like nodding while they're tying his
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
like, absolutely, buddy. You got it. You've got
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's on lock. Get the horse.
We
All right.
Does he
believe
not have
in
any credibility from last time?
Okay, I want to be really clear. Most people didn't see you, and the only testimony is from either you guys or Morgana, and the description of so then the hound attacked, and then there was a big blue cloud, and then the old guy was like twice as big, and then it was really dark too.
Whatever. I'm gonna go take a piss before you tie me up. I'll be right back.
Never see him again.
Yep.
Yeah, no, just like the rest of us, like, yeah, it's this gives us like 1 to 4 days to find that spear.
I don't know why, but the barge hands being like, I need to take a piss. It just reminded me of the new Deadpool movie trailer, where he gets captured and he's in an interrogation room and he pulls his head off the table. He goes, and the guy on the other side of the table, Mr. Wilson, you seem to have soiled yourself while you were unconscious. He goes, I wasn't unconscious. Where am I? Not denying the soiling himself.
Nope.
All right, so what are the rest of you doing while Barge Hands is taking a piss and presumably going to be taken to take the
I
stand?
think we're gonna make our way to the widow lady.
Yep. She's A6 over here. A thatch hut, rickety construction. It's not too difficult to hear from other people where she lives. They call her Mad Widow Yamei. Kind of a local spook, the kind of house that children dare each other to go forward and see how close you can get to touch it.
I think Nelly will take point on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Just knock on the door. What was the name again?
Mad Widow Yamei, Ymae. I think that's how you pronounce that. Yamei?
Okay.
I don't know. It's Norse. Listen, I just have to deal with the American educational system. They don't.
I got you.
They never taught me what the little lines over the letters mean. You knock on the door, and there's a moment of silence before you hear a creaky voice from within. Come.
With that, Nelly will open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
You see a slightly gloomy space as you walk in. The area's strange. It's the inside of this little hut somehow seems bigger on the inside than the outside. There's all sorts of cluttered shelves lined with strange jars, knickknacks stacked up. A blind cat casually lounges on one of the shelves. Cobwebs cover most things. And in the exact center of this otherwise circular space is a large bonfire. And sitting in a chair next to it is a truly hideous, hunched old woman who is currently seeming to take fire from the fire and is spinning it into gold thread.
Wow, that is impressive. Sorry, I am Nelly.
You're letting the cold in.
Sorry. She would see if the others are going to come in too, and then close the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here.
Sorry to intrude, but we were led to believe that you might have some information that might help us fight the hound. We're seeking out whatever leads we can to give us an advantage.
I may know a thing. Perhaps two. Knowledge is power. Power comes at a price, young dearie.
I think I'm just beginning to learn that myself.
I know you are. How does your head feel?
Thanks to whatever noxious fumes I inhaled last night, a bit fuzzier than usual. But
The first spells are always the most boorish. You'll become accustomed, assuming you survive. Don't go as mad as that other one that travels with you.
yeah, that really took him, didn't it?
The Lord of Storms bargains high price for his magics.
Did you show your knowledge and allude to the power beneath?
But she looks up from her work to make direct eye contact with you.
Mm.
Kind of a shiver goes down the spine. You are one that is old in a profession where many foolish die young.
I can see that.
I have patience for no fools, which is why it irks me that Barnabas has not come calling yet.
Ooh.
Do not make me soil my tongue by saying that ridiculous nickname of his.
Oh, yeah. He got drawn, and now he's already on his way to the plinth.
Truly, demon lords will make bargains with anyone these days. If he wishes to know where his orb is, he need come in person. That was the bargain. I'm fulfilling the debt with his patron.
Nelly just couldn't help but chuckle a little bit.
Did I say something funny?
No. It's that he's asked everyone else around this town, but the one person that actually held the knowledge he was seeking.
Don't go outside. I do not need suffer fools. She
Oh.
spits on the ground. Now,
it is, yeah.
about your hound.
Hmm.
I may be able to provide knowledge, magics that could support you. But that knowledge comes at a price. Are you, all of you, willing to pay that price? To seal an oath in the magics of old?
I think that
Is
largely depends
the
on the
price.
terms and the price.
I'll share with you my secret for free, but if you wish my aid beyond that, then you will agree to my price. The secret is thus: I have means to bind the hound, prevent it from returning to its gaseous form to take roost within its home within the fens to the north. It is a spell as simple as it is tricky. Mud of my hut here has certain properties that only I know how to properly exploit. If you bring me the hair of a recently dead man, I can spin it into a binding that the hound cannot cross. Tie the hound in such cords, and you shall be able to kill it permanently. Of course. If you do not agree to my price, then I shall not spin it for you.
What is the price?
She points at Tyke. That's one's hand in marriage.
And I think we're better off holding the thing down and beating it to death.
Is Richard here?
That's a
mute.
question, isn't it?
Huh? Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I got distracted.
Did you hear the price?
The price? No, I didn't hear the price.
This
Your
hideous old lady pointing at you and say the price is your hand in marriage.
And there's like a severely old woman.
Old
Severely
woman.
old and hideous.
And and just reeking of arcane knowledge.
Mhm.
When she says what, a pact in the old ways of magic or something like that?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, good lady, but I'm married to my work.
You received no aid from me. You can go. You know where the door is. It hasn't moved. Goes back to spinning.
Just look at everyone, shrug, be like, I'm not the one for marriage. Certainly not for someone we just met that is clearly homeless.
Inside her house?
No, I'm talking about like I'm not gonna do it to
Yeah.
save the homeless guy that's been captured now and gonna be sacrificed to the wolf.
I mean, that would just buy you 3 days, not
Yeah.
the entire
The
town.
homeless guy who has selflessly sacrificed himself for another twice.
Hey, Tyke's not selfless. He doesn't care.
And called down a bolt of lightning from the sky. Which, side note, I love that that's something that you can just do at level 1. That's very satisfying.
Well, sounds like we need to go to the north. Where's the stones in relation to that?
All right.
Is it along the way?
Let me just I was trying to, because they did provide a map, but now that I've narratively told you all the locations, I'll just quickly share the image real quick. One moment. Because it's one of those maps that's really cool, but then you look at it and you're like, oh, cool, this tells you where all the plot-related things are. Nice!
Right.
Guess I can't show this to players. Thanks! And I wasn't going to go through the effort to recreate it. But now that I've told you about everything... There we are.
Where's that? Oh, on Skype.
Escape, yeah. So you're in Hrot. There's the Standing Stones, Tomb of Ulfanar to the north, and the Sunken Fens, where the hag has told you where the Hound comes from, to the northeast. And each square is 100 yards.
The very least, you could let me go so I can come help you. Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, I was going to bring up, do we want to try to just free him tonight and just say fuck the ritual and just go get shit to defeat the wolf?
We can. Do we want to withhold that information that the woman, the widow, knows about the black orb?
The Black Orb.
Yeah, we probably should not say that until after
Yeah.
we deal with this.
That's fair.
Yeah. If he wanted
was
to know
thinking
she
about that
had it,
too.
he could have talked to her at any time.
Like,
I'm
after-
still salty about being gassed.
I hear you. Well, so we have some options, but since Tyke doesn't seem interested in marriage, the fence is kind of a moot point. So, are we off to the tomb then?
I think we should need to go rescue him and then go to the tomb. We just let them tie them up and then come back when they leave them behind and cut them free and leave. Or we can just go to the tomb. Either one.
My concern is we need to make it there and back, or what? The Hound's going to wreak havoc and level the town? Take another dozen with it? We could use the help, though.
Now, normally I wouldn't do this because I'm trying to be old school, but I'll remind you that this is old school. So, do you wish to try to hire any hirelings for the dungeon?
Oh,
delve?
that's true.
Do we even have money left over to hire hirelings?
I mean, we never did sell that gem that's worth a bunch of money, I thought.
Yeah, we still have that. I think we could, if we could find some people that are... Would they be skilled, or would they be, like, level zeros?
They'd be level zeros. They are not going to have
Okay.
class levels. The book
Okay.
is pretty clear that, like, I think a level 1 character is like 1 in 10,000 or something like that, or 1 in 1,000. I need to look it up. They actually, it's something I wish they did with more stuff, as they actually say, like, this is how common a level 3 character is in the entire world. I think level 10 they said once per epoch, which was pretty funny.
How much is a hireling?
I'm trying to find that section.
It's just
a big-
hire all the local children with penny candy. Hey, kids,
kid,
come
you wanna see a
explore
dead body?
Yeah. Want to be a dead body? What, mister?
You-
Nothing. Here's some candy.
Want to see it? So on D said, buddy, then stand behind your friend.
Are you strong enough to pull back a crossbow? Are you too young to know how little we're paying you? Come join us.
Is this? God, I remember seeing the hireling section. Why am I not finding it? Why? Because fate hates me.
It looks like
I
it's
can't-
page 310, isn't it?
Oh, look at you.
Well,
I just control
On
F.
the one hand-
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Well, I'm using a physical book.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Yeah,
I just
you're-
about to say, on the
So
one hand,
every 100 residents per town, there's one man, not necessarily able-bodied, willing to risk their life as an adventurer's helper. Let's
Not
see.
necessarily able-bodied.
They a payment
Also,
for food and lodging plus 1 to 4 copper pieces per week.
old Bjorn Bait Legs. He's only got one left, but he'll do it.
also, I like that men and women both can answer their call to adventure, but only men are stupid enough to do it when they're not able-bodied.
Yeah. So yeah, this is basically how it is. So it's 1 to 4 coppers per week, but you have to pay for the room and board. It's more if you try to find someone who has good equipment. I'll tell you now, most of the people in this town do not. So save your search there. They are a level 0 character, 3 hit points, plus zeros and everything.
I also found it, but I was going to point out it is like 940 for going to go into this dungeon.
Yeah, I just thought we'd do the any of the prep stuff first, so that way we need to be all like, the fuck was going on?
Oh shit!
Yeah, time flies.
Do we need to finish this before the start of next game?
No.
Uh-huh.
We can spit it up. Whatever you
It'll
guys.
just be it can always just be another pickup game if another person misses. We can just swap
Yep.
in Cope's character that's been a silent hero this entire time.
Okay, yeah, and we've
Yeah.
recorded it, so we can go back and watch through on the YouTube channel
Exactly.
if we need to, for
Yeah.
reminders on what happened.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
would
just
say
what I'm
we
thinking. I'm
hire
like, is
some
anyone gonna
hirelings.
remember what fucking happened the next time?
Mm.
Like, we're solidly out of the holidays. Like, the amount of times we are off a game is probably gonna be a lot less.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
No, as soon as we started playing this one this week, anyway, I just everything immediately started flooding back to me as soon as I started seeing the names.
Yep.
I have a lot of fun with this, and I enjoyed the magic and everything that we actually got to see in action this time too.
Yeah.
I think the deeds that the warriors do are very cool as well, and we could have seen a lot more of that. But the ice dice didn't commit, and the one time that a deed did succeed, it was Richard saying "attack me," which, to be fair, he did.
Yep.
It's weird. My wizard is more like a warlock from D&D.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the fun part to keep in mind about patrons is that they don't give you your magic, you bargain knowledge from them. Your arcane magic is still you. Only invoke patron is the only time you're asking your patron to step in. Because that's what invoke patron is you're all like, you owe me, you son of a bitch, that's the deal, do your thing, and then you throw a lightning bolt and damage the hound and turned it back corporeal. Like, fine.
Now fuck off.
They have a nice little chapter in the book where they talk about patrons and their thematic parts. Like, they talk about how gods could be patrons and patrons could be gods. The difference is how they engage with it. Like, as a cleric, you actually worship them and you're ideologically aligned and you're really involved. As a wizard, you could be a really good guy wizard, but have a demonic patron because this is the son of a bitch who has the knowledge that I want, so I'm cutting a deal with him. It's like a used car sale.
Yeah, like, say if you heroically, in a Hunger Games like fashion, offered yourself up as tribute, even though your patron is the god of something like storms and waste.
Also, it's something I didn't realize until it was pointed out to me, like just this last week when I was reading through some books. I was functioning underneath the bad warlock assumption from 5e that you can only have one patron. You can actually have multiple, but that just means that you're having a lot of super powerful eldritch beings that you owe favors to, which I kind of love at the same time.
I'm just picturing a bard warlock multi-class, and it's all his exes that are his patrons.
So I haven't.
My mind went to the TF2 comic with Medic dying and going to hell. I'm like, yes, you own one soul, but I have since then surgically added 8 more.
No, my mind was going to go to that episode of SpongeBob where the Flying Dutchman tries to take Mr. Krabs' souls, and he pulls out, and it just has IOU, and there's a million other ghosts that are like, hey, buddy, get in line.
And like he's right behind SpongeBob.
Yeah, he was pretty late on her paychecks.
I never watched all of those Ben 10 series, but I do know about the concept of Alien X from that show. Which is that he has to fucking get 3 like ideologically opposed beings to agree on a decision, but he turns into like a god alien.
Yeah, that can rewrite reality.
That's kind of what it sounds like, a warlock with multiple patrons. Yeah.
I do have a quick question about spell casting. Does a natural 20 do anything special, or is it just 20 plus all your modifiers?
I believe it's 20 plus your modifiers, and then it's an additional, I want to say 5 on top of that. It is something. I forget exactly what it is. Let me check real quick. It does affect things, though. I do know that. Plus, it always succeeds, obviously.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good idea for concept for a warlock, actually. You're like drawing powers from like an angel and a devil. And one's like, we need peace, and one's like, make war. You gotta find the balance.